And a very good afternoon to you, ladies and gentlemen of Speed Gaming. Welcome to the main Speed Gaming channel, and welcome to this Sunday's A Link to the Past Super Metroid Combo Randomizer Sunday weekly race. We have a good one for you today, folks. We've got a normal seed, and today featuring we have Aussie 101, Solsky, Hatch 78, and Maximum Barnage. I am Captain D13, and today I am joined by Revolving Ocelot. How are you today, my good sir?
I'm doing fantastic, I must say. We've got four really good runners here. They're going to be putting on an excellent race for us, no doubt.
Indeed.
So we should be getting started pretty shortly. We've got, I believe, just the four entrants in the race. So what you see on stream right now is all that you're going to see. Nobody's going to be finishing off stream to spoil the surprise. Whoever finishes first here is going to be first.
What are you looking to see as far as oddities and troll item placement today?
The last race I watched had a pedestal. It had a hookshot pedestal. So I am hoping for... I'm no pedestal, no Shactors. I never want to see Shactor anyway, because Shactor is a hellspawn from the depths of Norfair. But maybe I go on, but that's about it. That's as far as truly as I want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking for... I would actually like to see something relatively fast today as well, because I was tracking the Fast Friday A Link to the Past Rando daily, and there was some nasty double dipping of like Turtle Rock. Not Turtle Rock. There was some nasty double dips you had to do.
I mean, if you did end up with double dip Turtle Rock, it's probably the worst dungeon to get to in Link to the Past. So if you have to go into there to find the bow, then use the bow to get the fire rod so they can get the big key to go into the back, then yeah, that really stinks.
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of us remember the seed from early October where we had Moon Pearl on Shack Tool and Morph Ball on pedestal. Not Morph Ball, Hookshot on pedestal.
I'm ashamed to admit that I remember that too. I don't want to remember such things like that. They are horrible.
But yeah, hopefully we won't be seeing too much of that today. Now, this is a normal logic seed, so we won't have any mandatory Suitless Meridia or mandatory Hell runs, but given the caliber of our runners today, we may see that nonetheless.
Yeah, Ossie and Zosky are extremely good runners, so is Maximum Barnage. I'm not too familiar with Hat 78 myself, but given that he's running SMZ3, which has quite a reputation for being way more difficult than, say, your vanilla Link to the Past, because it requires you to know all kinds of Super Metroid tricks. I'm hoping to see some good gameplay from him too.
No doubt. Yeah, we should be getting started in just a couple minutes here.
It looks like they're all ready, so we will be getting off very shortly.
Now, for those who are not yet familiar with this, who may be just coming in for the first time, what Super Metroid: A Link to the Past Combo Rando is, there are 4 locations in between both games that allow that serve as cross-game portals, allowing you to transition between the 2 games. So, for example, what we will most likely see our runners do is head straight from Super Metroid into the first cross-game portal to switch over to A Link to the Past.
And typically, the entrance you will see first of those is going to be less than a minute into the seed. You will go down into the Brinstar shaft, Criteria shaft, and there's a door down there that normally would lead to nothing at all in the normal Super Metroid game, but here will take you into Link to the Past in the Fortune Teller's hut in the southeast by Lake Hylia.
Yes, and we are off. Now, there is one check in logic right now in normal mode for Super Metroid, and that would just be Vanilla Morph Ball. We shall see if our runners go in that direction right away. Some tend to, some tend not to. It's usually a toss-up depending on the circumstances and the difficulty.
My general experience is that people prefer not to go there because it takes a lot of time to go down there, but it is a sphere 1 check. You don't need any other items to get to there, so it can be important. And if you leave it behind, then it can bite you. But we see that only Solski's going down there. And on Lake Hylia, I think that looks like silver arrows. Did that look like silver arrows to you?
Those will look like silver arrows to me. We also got an early map check. Tower of Hera was a pendant, and I saw red crystal, desert, and regular crystal, I should say, eastern. So silvers are mirror and flippers locked, and it looks like the only thing at vanilla morph ball is the bloomerang.
Yeah, not particularly what you want to see down there. So
We're
Solski's
also
going to go for the other item here. This one's going to be out of logic, but it's pretty easy to get.
We got two various tiers of tree poles, one containing small magic, the other containing bombs. Ooh, hey, there's morph ball.
And Solski grabs the flute. That is a much better find for him early on. Again, it's out of logic because the game isn't expecting you to be able to reach that item until you have the morph ball bombs to infinite bomb jump your way up here. This being normal logic for Super Metroid, it's not expecting you to do any really advanced tricks, but it is expecting infinite bomb jumps.
Yeah, anything that allows you to can fly. We found a few items in Link's house. We got Link's house E-Tank, we got Sanctuary map, and we had big, I believe that was, I think we got a bomb drop somewhere. Oh no, that was the tree pole. I'm trying to remember what the other two drops were in Uncle area.
Honestly, I didn't really catch them myself, but I want to give a shout out to our tracker Semper Firedog and CYUX. I apologize if I mangled that pronunciation, but they are keeping us on track tonight. So if we do happen to miss anything, they'll point it out, put it on their trackers for everyone to see, and keep us all updated.
I gotta stop you for a second because I saw what looked like something white on the lumberjack ledge, but it looked like it was a little too thin to be a heart piece. We're gonna get a better look from Hatch right now. It might have been a rod. Oh, never mind, it was a heart piece. I just saw that one white pixel. We've got Maximum Barnage doing the race game, and an E-Tank growing in the Lost Woods, and oh, there's high jump boots at the race game. I believe that puts that flute in logic.
Yeah, it would, because it actually allows you to jump at that high and reach the flute.
Well,
So high jump boots aren't a technique at all, it's just jump up.
Yeah, that's going to be something Solski's going to be happy to see. Our first set of power bombs is on the library. Alright, we got some good divergence here. Maximum Barnage is taking the south entrance to CAC, while Solski is checking Sahasrara's closet.
Power bombs on the library is a interesting conundrum. We could see people going back for that if they can't find power bombs anywhere else, or they only find a single power bomb pack, because 2 power bombs isn't really very much to work with. And sometimes in SMZ3, power bombs can be ridiculously hard to find. It's rare, but it does happen, so it may be that first power bombs could be those ones on the library ledge and be looking for boots for those.
They won't be. We just found what some in Sahasrara's closet.
So there we have.
Along with, I think, 2 big 20s. Yeah. We've got Aussie and Barnage. Both of them have decided to do a Houlihan, so they both have some extra money for CAC. Maximum Barnage going to take advantage of that extra cash right away and buy some bombs.
Compared to like regular Link to the Past Rando, there's way less rupees available in the SMZ3 crossover, so the Houlihan play is greatly incentivized to get you that early cash for saving up for Zora, or getting into Paths of Darkness, or buying some bombs, or the bottle fender, or lots of things really.
Sure thing, and we had a lot of items in Blind's hideout a couple of seconds ago. We had half magic, grapple beam, another pack of power bombs, 100 rupees, and a heart piece. And I missed those first 2 well chests, but I see the E-Tank missiles and big 20.
Just a heart piece in the second chest.
Now, the first chest also had a heart piece. Now, we have not seen a green pendant hit yet from Sahasrara. So we still have no idea where our green pendant is hiding.
Interesting to see these early Shahad tricks, actually. He tends to be put off a bit later after usually the South Shore, sometimes even Agina, depending on what the runner feels like.
And we got just another heart piece in the bottle vendor today. So with what we have now, we do have a good chunk of Brinstar in logic, courtesy of the 2 power bomb packs we have seen and our morph ball.
Have we picked up any super missiles yet?
I think there was a super missile pack lying around somewhere, but I don't remember. I believe it was in CAC.
So
But the uncle had one. Never mind.
yeah. So the super missiles, the power bombs, and in combination with that morph ball really gets you a lot of access to Brinstar, gets you down to Kraid and beat him if you so choose to. Also a little bit of warfare, but not too much. This being normal logic, the game isn't really expecting you to go diving around in the heat field areas and drain your health.
Indeed, but Aussie did pick up a rupee hoard from the flooded area of the dam, so now he has Zora money. And Getro7's in chat, Solsky already releasing the goose at 6:45.
Releasing the goose? So this is Untitled Zelda game now?
Yes.
Yeah, you watch out for that goose. He'll be stealing your flute if you're not careful.
Oh, I'm not worried about him stealing my flute. I'm worried about him stealing other things. Mini Moldorm Cave. We've got missiles, bomb cap upgrade, 50 rupees, red rupee, and piece of heart. So absolute garbage, unless you need a little extra cash.
If Ozzy's hoping to pay off Sword, then yeah, he's probably going to want some extra cash.
Yeah, you might need it for a Palace of Darkness. There are still 2 Dark World pendants unaccounted for at this time.
Now, he may not choose to go over to Sword immediately because it is out of logic for having power glass or the flippers, but fake flipper to check out the items in Lake Hylia, the hobo under the bridge, and the Azor area is pretty common. He's going to be making his way to Iceberg Cave first.
Yeah, although ideally, if you do want a fake flipper, you want to at least try and get the Moon Pearl so you can, or Pegasus Boots, so you can water walk to Waterfall Ferry.
So I would say it's quite unlikely that he will be checking out King Sword at this. Although he's just picked up the flippers, so no reason not to do it now.
You were saying?
Excellent find.
We've got Solsky checking out Agina's cave, so we will see what the Desert Hermit has for us this afternoon.
Anecdotally, I've seen Agina with a lot of useful items lately, but today he just has supers. I mean, more supers isn't bad at all. You always want to find as many supers as you can until you get a charge beam, because in the scenario where you're facing off against Mother Brain and you don't have charge beam, or Ridley for that matter, you're gonna want a lot of supers. Now, in both normal and hard logic, the game doesn't expect you to be beating either of those bosses without the charge beam, but it's certainly possible, so having a ton of supers really helps for that. Hey,
wow.
Bo from the Hobo. Hobo?
Oh, nice one. Yeah, Semper Fire Dog, our tracker today, echoes that sentiment. I'm sorry, wrong Metroid Prime game.
So, Ozzy's going to make his way to Zora, but there was a chance that he could have just gone straight to Eastern Pass and go clear that out with that bow. But he's going to be checking out the Zora area first. No reason not to, he's got the cash for it. Just get it done, then maybe head over to Eastern.
Yeah, we had Solsky fluting over, he fluted over to Death Mound to rescue the old man just for a pack of missiles, but in the Waterfall Ferry we have a 50 rupees and a mushroom, which we could turn in right now.
It's a bit of a walk over there from the king back to the person shop, but I imagine Ozzy will do it later when he gets that flute.
Very true. Just missiles on the Zora ledge, but on top of Spectacle Rock we get 10 sticks.
Inside are more supers.
Ooh, how about this? We've got Hatch checking out the front of Hyrule Castle.
This is going to be tricky for him, because his only offensive weapons are the boomerang and the bombs. Now, he's going to be getting to get a lot of stun prizes thanks to that, so maybe he will be able to refill his bombs each time, but killing the guards shouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, we've got Solsky checking out the Norfair Business Center, and I did see a sword at the top of the high jump area. Otherwise, 2 big 20s.
Yep, that is a sword.
Yeah, definitely something you want to see before going back into the Link to the Past again. Sword is such a good weapon, especially for a front of escape, like right now.
Now, Ozzy has chosen to make his Super Metroid trip before doing Eastern Palace, which again is a fine play. He's got loads of items to make his way through Super Metroid.
Indeed. Maximum Barnage just got the green pendant hint from Sahaswala. The green pendant is in Turtle Rock.
Ew, disgusting. Turtle Rock
Absolutely.
is difficult to get into. It's obviously not mandatory to face Ganon, but there's a lot of items in Turtle Rock, and luckily for our runners, the bow is available really early on, so we're not going to be seeing a Turtle Rock bow, unlike almost every other race lately. But there could
No,
still
we
be
will
useful
not.
stuff in there.
Right. Hatch
And if
did
he...
get a. I'm sorry, you
Sorry.
first.
No.
Hatch picked up some bombs in the second chest of escape, so he will be able to use a couple extra bombs if necessary to take out the guards. We've got Solski in Kraid's Lair finding another pack of power bombs at the. Is that the E-tank or the missiles?
I believe that's the missiles. The E-tank is that room that unlocks after Kraid.
That's right.
Actually, I don't remember what item that is in vanilla, but it's definitely an E-tank in the unlockable room.
Ooh, Maximum Barnage has picked up the Book of Medora in the Eastern Palace.
Pretty nice find. It's almost vanilla progression. So you clear out Eastern Palace first, you get the book from the library ledge, and then you would go to Desert Palace after that. But why not just pick up your book in Eastern Palace?
Makes
Now,
sense.
there's not much reason for him to go to Desert Palace yet because he doesn't have boots, he doesn't have the lamp, so he's not going to be able to check out most of it or even complete it.
Very nice quick kill from Solski on Kraid. And our second item in Eastern is just another pack of bombs. And Kraid kill is only worth a big 20.
Yeah, but it's one of four bosses down in Super Metroid. So you gotta do it sometime. And if that's 30 minutes in, so be it.
Yeah, so Solski draws first blood of our runners today.
But also he's going to be giving us our first look into Green Brinstar, and there is a mirror starting off.
Fascinating. That does put Tower of Hera into logic, courtesy of our flute, but we just got the hammer in the back of the bridge missiles.
Well, that puts the rest of Death Mountain in logic.
And
So assuming... Sorry.
I just got to add more to this. We just found the speed booster in the big chest of Eastern Palace.
So all of our early game areas are pretty loaded today.
Definitely. We had a fairly decent Kakariko. We had not the best mini Moldarm cave, but we did have a great Brinstar, as you said.
Yep, so if Rossi chooses to go over to the Quick Tricks of Blueberry and pick up that flute, that pays out really well for his routing, because he can just go to Death Mountain, get to Tower of Hera, then make his way over to East Death Mountain and check out the plethora of items over there. And he also, finds the other boomerang.
And he also just picked up the Moon Pearl just before that.
Yes.
So we now have a hammer and a Moon Pearl. We are just missing a lift upgrade. Then we can get some Dark World access nice and early. Although I believe with that Moon Pearl, with the mirror and hammer, that is another way we can get to East Death Mountain. Moon Pearl doesn't allow us to do much until we can get that lift upgrade, though.
Yeah, the most it will allow you to do is check out a bit of the East Dark World if you happen to decide, yeah, I'm going to go face Aggro 1 because I haven't found gloves anywhere and I'm desperate for a glove. Hopefully none of our runners are going to be forced to do that because there are plenty more checks available to them before even thinking of Aggro 1.
Yeah, right now they can finish off Eastern, like how Barnage is doing. They can't full clear Tower of Hera since they may need a fire source for the basement. They could if there's nothing down there, but nevertheless it may be required.
If we find actually no, don't. So boots or the hookshot can allow you to set up a technique called the Hera pod. It's a recently discovered technique, pretty easily, but It's not necessary. You can clear out Hera if you so chose. Or not clear it, but at least finish off Moldorm without a fire source. It allows you to completely skip the big key door.
Indeed.
If you put yourself into the right position in the first room of Hera and bomb yourself into the pot, you will clip through it and you fall down the pot into a fey room, which the game would normally expect you to be falling into from a much higher level. And the teleport pad in there will teleport you back to that higher level. So you essentially skip a whole bunch of the tower.
Yeah, that's a very useful skip. Maximum Barnage about a minute ago did draw first blood against the Armos Knights, and that is Barnage's first crystal.
And he's choosing to do the Fun of Escape play now.
Yeah, unfortunately, this didn't end up paying off too much, and there's just a shovel in the Wavegate room.
Lots of fetch quests coming through for all this other progression items.
That is true. We have not seen a mushroom turn in yet.
Yeah, I think only Aussie has that mushroom so far, and he didn't have much reason to go there.
Aussie having no problem nailing the Spore Spawn skip. A little low on...
Sorry.
It's a little low on supers, so has to be a little bit careful getting out, but he does find Brian's cane in the Spore Spawn room, so can somebody please call Brian and tell him to come to Pink Bryn? We found his cane.
Yeah, Aussie's taking a little bit of time here to top up his ammo and health.
Yeah, Solski's just now doing the Blind's Hut check, so he's going to pick up his half magic. So yeah, all of our runners are going to have half magic for the rest of this siege, so that is quite nice to see. Wow, space jump in the charge beam area. So now we can fly. Makes this check a nice piece of cake. So yeah, Brintstar is definitely the play right now.
Aussie is actually choosing to skip Blue Bryn for now, so he's going to be missing out on that fluid for a bit.
He does this a lot, I've noticed, in races. He loves Bryn skip.
It's going to burn him this time, unfortunately.
Yeah, because what are we finding there? We found Space Jump, we found Mirror, we found Hammer. Yeah, those are three of the bigger ones. Alright, Aussie's next stop is X-Ray. And with Space Jump again, makes this a cakewalk. That is very convenient placement for that Space Jump.
Even if he didn't have a Space Jump, the grab would make that pretty trivial anyway. So,
but
he can get through however you choose.
It would, although Aussie does not have Grapple Beam yet. And that was in Blind's hideout.
Now, Maximum Barnett is taking a depth warp to the front of the castle, so he's going to be checking out the Dark Cross room. I believe Hat 78 didn't do that. He killed both the guards in the bottom room and then just saved and critted out. So this is going to be out of logic because it's in the dark for Barnett, but it's another item. And if he's really confident with his navigation, he could get all the way to the back 3 chests. Again, that would be out of logic, but and he'd have to do a lot of poking around because he's only got 4 hearts.
Yeah, and without a sword, it's kind of tough to see. You can't use the spin glow to light your way. Now, he does have the bow, but only 1 shot, so he's not going to be able to use an arrow as a visual cue that well, unfortunately.
He's actually dropping a bomb there, and I see he doesn't have a blue boomerang, which would help him too.
Alright, Hatch picking up their speed booster out of the Eastern Palace big chest. Solski, meanwhile, just had to grab an extra bomb. I imagine that is to go participate in the race game.
Yeah, without any, I didn't see if he checked it or not, but without any bombs, he would be looking for one either way.
Now, I did not see what was in the Dark Cross. Because it looks like Maximum Barnage managed to go all the way to the sewers.
I am not sure where Barnage is now. I didn't. He has
There he
made
is.
his way to the back. So, yeah, he managed to poke his way through before he. No, he's still got most of his bombs. Picks up some more just for the hell of it, and finds a piece of heart and more bombs. So,
Yeah, Back of Escape was complete trash.
still good to get it done whilst you're there instead of having to worry about it later.
Alright, we've got Aussie taking on Cray. We'll see if we are 2 for 2 on quick kills this afternoon.
Soski's on his way to get his hobo.
And to answer question chat, Zora was checked and it was a big scam. Ooh, Aussie not succeeding on the quick kill, so now we'll see Kraid stand up and we will go to the prom.
Honestly, Cray doesn't seem like the problem type to me. He doesn't really have much room in there to practice dance moves and such. Mostly just roars and gorges himself.
Well, to be fair, he can practice his step.
Step to the left, step to the right. Oh dear, there's super missiles in my mouth.
Yeah, we now got Solsky doing his flippers checks as well. Now, Solsky did not, I believe, did not visit the bridge guy yet, so he's still missing out on his bow. We will get it eventually. Has to. Eastern Palace is a crystal. And it looks like Hatch has hard reset back to Super Metroid. So I'm curious to see where we can go next. With Speed Booster and Space Jump, all of Wrecked Ship is full clearable.
And Wrecked Ship is kind of like Turtle Rock in a sense. You've got a boss, and it takes a fair bit of time to clear out, but you do find a lot of items there. In the past, Wrecked Ship tends to have a bit of a reputation for being dry on items generally, but today with such an early Space Jump, yeah, it could definitely have quite a few decent things in there.
Yeah, we have Maximum Barnage going ahead and turning in that mushroom now. Now, we will see if, depending on the item, Maximum Barnage elects to save scum it to use as a fake powder.
Solsky's going to be giving us a first look at that mushroom. He did pick up that burned bridge. I saw it on his menu.
Barnage just beat you to it there and has picked up 20 bucks. We have Hatch checking out the front of Gauntlet. Now, we know the back of Gauntlet was just missiles and a heart piece. And to answer question chat, the big key to Eastern was not behind the lamp. It was in the third chest. Oh, I blinked and I missed what was on Croc Escape. Ooh, screw attack in the front of Gauntlet. Now that's an interesting one.
Also, he's going to be able to do a very decent clear of Death Mountain here, where he's taking a little trip to save the old man first.
Yeah, so with Space Jump and Screw Attack, getting around places like Lower Norfair especially, such as the Three Musketeers, will now be a cakewalk.
Yeah, Space Jump and Screw Attack just makes Lower Norfair so easy. Although right now it's not really easy because you don't have any really many energy tanks and you don't have a Varrier suit, so you're going to be dying an awful death to molten temperatures before you even get to make much use of that Screw Attack. Something to point out between normal and hard logic is that whilst hard logic would expect you to possibly do hell dives in upper Norfair and make your way through heated rooms without the Varrier suit, low Norfair it would always be out of logic without the Varrier suit. So most of our runners are going to be looking for that before they think of doing the extremely, extremely difficult Uber hell dive at the bottom. It is possible. It's certainly possible to get through with tons of energy and lots of refills along the way, but it is very, very difficult and time consuming. Most people will just rather find that Varrier suit first.
Oh, I was pressing the wrong push to talk button. Whoops. So, Aussie is going into Death Mountain. Will not be able to check the Ether tablet yet since he has not picked up the book from Eastern Palace. Oh, we have our Dark World map check. Our last pendant is Misery Mire. Wow, that's huge. It may be possible that we may not need a medallion this seed.
Unfortunately, like I mentioned before, there's a lot of items in Tower of Rock, plus a bonus one behind the green pendant, so kind of stinks.
Yes, and conveniently with the early mirror, that does put Mimic Cave into play once Turtle Rock becomes accessible. It does look, however, like Tower of Hera is not fire-locked, or at least Moldorm is not fire-locked. And I do apologize, I did not see where our other 5-6 crystal was, but...
I only caught a very quick glance. It might have been Ice Palace, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
Yeah, I'm gonna take a quick look at the playback while Maximum Barnage is traveling through Desert. Now, I was able to get to the right side, so there must have been a small key in the first chest. And our tracker, Seiryu X, confirming that it was Thieves Town, and Desert Palace is not boots locked. So we can get to Landmolus and Moldorm without any current with our current equipment. Actually, no, we can't. Never mind.
Okay, we've both done it now. We call about needing an item, and then the item pops up. Let's keep doing that for the rest of the seed.
Yeah, how about we just find, let's just find Ice Rod on the Desert Palace torch now, shall we? Ah, I could hope. Actually, Desert's not clearable yet. We're still missing a fire source. As chat points out, so... Yeah. Interesting setup we've got right now. But with Mire and Turtle Rock both being pendants and both requiring a lot of items to clear, it's not looking good for the pedestal, unfortunately.
You know, very, very slim chance that the pedestal will be needed already.
Alright, Aussie has taken down Moldorm, has picked up the second item in Hera, and that is the heart piece, so there is no need to go to the basement.
Yeah, that's got to be having Aussie feel really good about diving into tower, because going in without the lamp is kind of like... it doesn't take you long to get up there, considering that you would usually... considering he has a mirror and can take the quicker route there, but it's still like diving in without the mirror. You don't really want to double dip it, but, well, without the lamp, you don't want to double dip it, but this time, all good. Doesn't need to worry about it.
Now, Hatch was cutting it close, near charge beam there, but managed to get the energy tank right above where Space Jump is located, so that is a nice, easy, nice bailout there, I should say, for Hatch. And with the speed booster, Waterway is also in logic. And chat points out we have a heart container on the floating island, so no real reason to go for that. And on the subject of Waterway, Hatch is going to go pick that up right now, it seems.
There might be a reason to grab that heart container if Bossy is still, like, 2 hours later in the Dark World on top of Death Mountain, only on 4 hearts. It's unlikely he will still only be on 4 hearts, but you never know.
Yeah, but only just for some super missiles in the Waterway, while we get a heart piece in... Spiral Cave. And answer your question, chat, the glove was in the compass chest of Tower of Hera.
So you need to get your high jump boots to get to that flute. Then you take that flute up to Tower of Hera with the mirror in tow from, that was in Greenbryn. And that will get you your power glove.
Wow, that's not a nice chain for sure.
It's not a nice chain, but as we've seen, you can easily circumvent many parts of it.
Absolutely. Aussie is giving us a look at Paradox Cave. We saw so far 2 missile packs and a heart piece, 50 more rupees, the Zora tunic. Oh wait, I'm sorry, wrong game. The plasma beam, and our first actually that is our second bottle, excuse me.
So, Paradox Cave, no progression, but bunch of utility. Really useful utility.
Actually, is that our first bottle? I might be thinking of a different seed.
I think that is our first bottle. So that does unlock the sick kit.
Yeah, I'm thinking of a different seed where we found a bottle super early. And it looks like we've got Aussie going straight to the Dark World. Our first stop on the docket, Hype Cave.
Straight to Hype Cave. Don't see this too often, but I like it.
All
So
right.
we asked.
What's our hype value today? Well, that's not a good start, just a pack of missiles. Oh, lamp, that's pretty useful. Energy tank, missiles, and a red rupee. So really not too much other than the lamp and a little bit of health. 3 or 4 out of 10 at most.
The lamp puts all the stuff like clearing Eastern Palace back in logic. It also means you can clear Desert Palace now. So just for lamp value, and considering you haven't seen Firewall yet, I give that at least 5 out of 10.
Certainly, given the circumstances, the lamp is definitely one of the most valuable thing to come across right now. With our equipment, we can actually now full clear Palace of Darkness, which is a crystal, and furthermore, Ozzy could just mirror to Eastern Palace right after. But first stop on that list is the Silver Arrows on the Lake Hylia Island. Yeah, you definitely want to get that so you can make every boss in the game pretty much free. Except blind.
Yes, the Cade Burner. Blind becomes not the quickest with Cade Burner, but pretty damn free of that too. All you just have to do is turn on your cane and just walk into him a bunch.
Yeah, Barnage picking up their mirror now from Green Brinstar. And yeah, Aussie is going straight to pod. We got 5 items up for grabs in here.
So he's got the hammer, he's got the bow, he's got the lamp. This is all completely in logic. It's a great place to head to.
Yes, and furthermore, actually, with our current equipment, the Pyramid Ferry is in logic. We can full clear Thieves Town and Desert now that we have our lamp, so we have the ability to pick up both of our red crystals.
And if you choose to go to Thieves Town after this, you've even got the hammer so that you don't have to worry about skipping the big chest. This is working out supremely well for Aussie so far. So Barnage has just picked up his moon pearl, so the only one missing it right now is Solsky. So he needs to make his way through Green Brinstar, which he's only just starting.
Now, one check in Retro Brinstar that we have not yet seen is the Billy Mays room.
So when Aussie goes to get his flute,
Oh wait, no, we just saw it, and I completely missed it.
that was one that had 78 side, yeah.
But it was just missiles and bombs. We have a question in chat to explain the run. So what's happening is this is a special ROM of Super Metroid and A Link to the Past that combines the two games together in a way that there are 4 locations in the game that you can cross between Super Metroid and A Link to the Past. For example, and furthermore, all the items are shuffled, and one game's items can be in another game. For example, the Gravity Suit can be in Palace of Darkness, for example. The goal of the race is to beat both games, and to do so, you have to defeat Ganon and Mother Brain. Ooh, got a nice look at Shaft Supers from Hatch, and that is a pack of missiles.
He's super giving us a look at underneath Mother Brain's old lair too.
He actually did. And
oh yeah, he would have done it on his way up, yeah. Keep missing on his side.
Yeah, there is a lot going on in this particular seed, especially with all the early game items we found. We've got Hatch checking out Omega missiles here.
So-called Omega missiles because if you're running Super Metroid in a general around 100% speed run, those are the last missiles you get in the game.
Alright, Hatch going to go and check. Ooh, we've got Aussie preparing a hammer yump here. Doesn't quite get the momentum from the bomb.
Doesn't have much health to play with, so he may just choose to... Well, he is going to try again. But if he takes another 4, then he'll probably just make his way to the back. And again, he has a mirror, so I'm not quite sure why he is doing this, but he gets across this time. Finds a heart container, the sanctuary heart no less, to top up his health. Quite convenient.
Yeah, that is a very convenient one. It was just a big 20 in vanilla morph ball bombs, and I believe that was another heart container in the dark maze. Yeah, this has not been a particularly Link to the Past healthy seed.
Yeah, you can see Hatch is already running around with 5 energy tanks in Super Metroid, and honestly, energy tanks in Super Metroid are worth so much more than heart containers in Link to the Past. You still don't want to be doing Link to the Past with 3 heart containers, but you'd really much rather find 1 energy tank for every, 2 or 3 heart containers in Link to the Past.
Exactly, and deaths in Super Metroid in particular are so costly because unlike Link to the Past, you can't just save your current progress and continue. In Super Metroid, a death will cost you any progress you've made since your last save. But meanwhile, we've got Hatch going to check Rex ship, again, fully clearable with our current equipment of Space Jump and Speed Booster.
Starting off with bombs in the moat. Solsky picks up his shovel and Barnes is just a little ahead of him, making his way through the rest of Green Bryn. Yep, Barnes is going to head back up and grab that flute. This is going to be good for him.
Actually, thinking about it, has the shovel been checked yet? I'm having a mind fart.
No, nobody's checked shovel yet. Nobody's had any reason to go to that part of the Dark World just yet. Ozzy was the closest, but yeah, he would have a shovel because he did do Green Bryn, but he only did Hype Cave in the south and then went straight over to the pod in the eastern area.
Okay. Alright, Maximum Barnage has finally gotten to Retro Brinstar, so we'll be rewarded with that flute.
And Hatch making his way down to Fantoon. So he's got tons of energy tanks for this, so this wouldn't be a big problem for us. And if he does so happen to cause a very angry Fantoon by mistake, Screw Attack will keep him completely covered, so he is in a very safe position here.
Indeed. Now, did Aussie skip the Harmless Hellway? Because I was looking away for a minute, and I noticed he didn't get there, or I didn't see any checks from back there.
He did the hammer jump over to the Dark Maze, and then went over to the Dark Basement, and went down through Harmless Hellway to the on his way to Helmsall.
Okay.
So, yeah, and it was just supers, as chat points out.
Ah, so that's what it was. Okay. Alright, Aussie taking on the dreaded Helma Kitty. 17 whacks with the hammer will break off the mask, and then 1 silver skewer to the face will take the boss down.
Honestly, my cats don't have nearly as many spikes as that one. The claws are still pretty lethal, though.
Well, with Blue Mail, and considering this is supposed to be your first Dark World dungeon, it's not too bad, but Aussie has taken his first crystal of the race, and most likely his next call is Eastern Palace.
Yeah, just has to mirror, and then he can do Eastern Palace entirely in logic, because he has Lamp. Not that anybody really needs Lamp to clear Eastern Palace, but, game cares about it.
Yeah, the only thing you need the lamp for, actually, the vanilla big key chest, I believe, is trash, because we've seen all 3 items in Eastern before at the big chest, I should say. Hatch is taking it easy with Fantoon here, but looks like he's almost got him locked down. In fact, he does have him locked down.
He didn't want to risk the super missile enraging him, although if you can finish him off with a super missile, you avoid the enrage and do a lot of damage and kill Fantoon. But if you do misjudge the amount of damage you've done, then he sits at the top of the screen being very angry, undamageable, and shoots a bunch of fireballs at you. which would be very, very dangerous if you were on much less energy tanks and didn't have something to keep you safe like a screw tank.
I just saw someone in chat joking about the Guitar Hero Dance Dance Revolution combo randomizer, and I would love to see that.
The only other combo randomizer I've been witness to has actually been Zelda 1 and Metroid 1 combo, although I don't think that's played too much because Metroid 1 is not a game I am a big fan of. It's very, very obtuse and all the rooms look the same. As for Zelda 1 though, I have never played that game.
Same, actually. We have Hatch taking a quick look through the rest of the wrecked ship. Not too much to find in here so far. And Aussie now finally picking up his treasure trove of items out of Eastern Palace. Now, Aussie hasn't... now, Aussie only did pretty much all of Green Brinstar since... and Kraid since dipping Super Metroid last. So this next dip to Super Metroid will have Aussie being able to make a lot more checks. Now, we are still looking for our suits, however.
Yeah, definitely going to be looking there for that fair suit, and gravity suits you can... Ivanas definitely have a skill to make a gravity suitless Meridia work. In fact, that's what they've had to do in hard mode seas quite recently. But
We don't
you
talk
still
about that.
much rather have gravity suit than no gravity suit.
And yeah, blink and you miss it, and there go the Armos Knights for Aussie. So now the next port of call for Aussie, we'll see where this goes. He is saving and quitting, and is staying in A Link to the Past. My guess is Thieves Town.
Yeah, he's going to head over to the West Dark World and start clearing all of that out. May also check out a bit of Skullwoods. In just last night's qualifier race for the Link to the Past tournament, I believe the Fire Rod was in the vanilla chest in Skullwoods. So don't discount your Skullwoods. Even though there's only 2 items in there, you can still check out pretty much the whole of the front without the Fire Rod, and the stuff you can find there could well help you.
I have seen so many races lost to people not checking the Skullwoods big chest. And Thieves Town big chest, for that matter.
In earlier versions of Link to Past Rando, Skullwoods had a bit of a reputation for being value woods and almost always finding an item of progression in there. It has since been fixed, but you still really want to check it out. Because it's 2 items in logic as soon as you can get into Dark World, and you don't really need any other items to get to them. Unless they are both in the back, which can happen, but it's kind of unlikely.
Oh, Solsky just saw gravity suit and missiles in the sky. Not missiles in the sky, sorry, the underground, just below missiles in the sky.
So basically what Hatch 78 is going to be approaching very, very soon.
Wow, so a French vanilla gravity suit, and what is locked behind Speed Booster and Wreck Ship? Just a rupee hoard.
Yeah, if we hadn't already found rupee hoards, you might see some of our runners go for that, but we already have, so no really any reason to get it.
Wow, this is crazy. Aussie doing the Kakariko Village checks 45 minutes in, and now just finally got the grapple beam. Oh no. Grapple beam, gravity suit, speed booster. You thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah. Completely repulsive, quite honestly.
Yeah, means we can go check on the dreaded Shack Tool.
Still would rather be checking Shack Tool than having to ice clips. The ice clip to Shack Tool is really, really annoying.
You can say that again.
Yeah, we have no idea what Ice Beam is right now, but we do have at least Plasma Beam on Ossie's side from Paradoxscape, which is really nice to have. But when it comes to the Metroids in Torian, for now we'll just have to be using lots of power bombs to kill them, unless we can find an Ice Beam somewhere. So first a kit check, 300 rupees.
Ooh, looks like, and you are witnessing Maximum Barnage is the result of what happens if you do clunk Phantoon with the super missile without killing him.
So he keeps himself totally safe with that screw attack, but he wastes a lot of time. This one takes care of Phantoon.
Yeah, with a hard piece down there in the bottom of the bowling alley, that means the only last check for wreck ship is this one right here. And it's just extra bombs. But wreck ship turning out to be a good play with a French vanilla gravity suit, but it's all the way up at the top. Now with
It's
this...
not so entirely bad with it being at the top, because unless you were to check it earlier and decide, this is my go mode item, I don't need anything else, everybody's going to be spending quite a lot of time checking out all of wreck ship, so you can't really save much time going for that gravity suit. Everybody's going to be full clearing wreck ship and getting that gravity suit pretty much last.
Indeed. Now, Hatch, with his current equipment, I would not be surprised if he elected to route in Meridia. Interestingly, despite all we have seen as far as Super Metroid items, not that much in A Link to the Past. We found the mirror, we found a glove, and we found a hookshot. Or no, that wasn't hookshot. It was, Hammer. Sorry.
Honestly, I'd say a hammer and bow for Link to Past are pretty big by themselves, but there's quite a lot of stuff that is just locked by one-off item sets. You don't really need in many other locations. So like Fire Rod, you need it to check out the right side of Turtle Rock. And it's very, very often that you do have to clear out the right side, although it is possible to get all the way to Trinex without a Fire Rod.
Yes, but it is purely dependent on the key layout. To answer question, Chad, the first glove was in Tower of Hera.
But ordinarily you would need a Fire Rod for Turtle Rock, and you'd need the Fire Rod to kill Morphler, hard requirement. But other than that, you can, and to clear the Freezors in Ice Palace. But other than that, nothing else really. It covers a lot of the needs that the lamp does, but we have got the lamp, so that makes the Fire Rod just a little bit less useful. I mean, quick look at Bumper Ledger, just a single arrow. Nobody's going to be going for that.
But it is the single arrow of destiny. But yeah, it does seem right now that the despite full clearing Pod and Eastern Bolt together, it does seem like Super Metroid is still the place to be right now, given our especially given Gravity Suit and Speed Booster.
That's it. We've got Thieves Town coming up for Aussie, and it's full clearable. It is a crystal, so might as well do it. We also haven't seen the digging game, so I imagine Aussie will do that after he's done with Thieves Town too. Can't do the blacksmith chain just yet, though.
Yeah, most likely we'll route in Stumpy and check the shovel while he's at it. With the mirror, we can also check K45. You should know, with all the stuff we did find in the early game, I haven't had that much time to sip my soda.
Yeah, so far this is looking to be a fairly quick SMZ3 seed. Now, things could still go wrong. We could still need to clear Green Pendant Turtle Rock and be looking for the Ice Rod literally everywhere. We're hoping that's not going to be the case, though.
Yeah, and we won't be getting any hints regarding most items in this seed because this is version 29, therefore hints are not currently available yet. We did find some super missiles and a key in the front of Thieves Town, so there are 3 items left up for grabs in the Thieves Town, one of which in the front must be a big key.
You know, as far as I remember, I don't think hints are actually going to be included in SMZ3 Rando at all. And considering in Link to the Past, in the daily races and the tournaments, the hints aren't being enabled for that anyway, I think we're not going to be seeing many hints in races for quite a long time now.
Probably not. Ooh, 2 super missile packs in the front of Thieves Town, so if you're low on super missiles, this would be a good place to go. And especially considering we're still missing Charge Beam, that could end up doing a lot more good than harm. Now, I will say though, this seat has had our runners really running all over the place, getting stuff. I mean, think about it. We had the book in Eastern, the bow on the bridge guy, the flippers were in Ice Rod Cave, and Gravity Suit in Wreck Ship. I mean, there's been stuff everywhere.
Yeah, it's a pretty non-linear seed. You can approach this in a manner of different ways. I think Ossie's had the best approach to it so far, simply because he's been able to knock out Pod and Eastern in one go. Putting off Kakariko for 45 minutes actually paid out really well for him, which you can't say about pretty much almost all rando seeds, but hey, it works this time.
Yeah, not exactly a Stackerico village this time around, but nevertheless, as you said, it worked out.
Each had useful items anyway, like half magic, but nothing that would really progress you. All the progressiveness has been located in different parts so far.
We found another rupee hoard in Thieves Town, so that is 3 items, and Hatch has purchased the Crate DLC. Excuse me.
How many rupees is the Crate DLC?
I believe it's 1 orange and 1 purple, so 150. Oh, I'm sorry. Add a green. Add a 1 green one, so 151.
Okay, but for that to actually pay that in orange and purple, you'd need to add on Ocarina of Time onto the combo randomizer. So SMZ3 OOT randomizer. 7-hour seeds coming soon to random near you.
Wow, there's Cane of Samaria in Thieves Town. Now, as far as dungeon clearing items for crystals, that's not going to help us too much, but one potential saving grace that Cane may have is if the big key is in the right side of Ganon's tower.
Yeah, considering our pendant dungeons, we may not be needing that Cane of Samaria at all. It is going to depend on if there is anything in Mizumai or Turtle Rock that's necessary, and where that big key is in Ganon's tower. But those are concerns that we don't have to worry about for quite a long time yet.
Blind doesn't see us having a bright future.
Yeah, he's quite pessimistic. I'm not pessimistic at this point, but there is a potential for trolls here.
Oh, Aussie taking a little damage and going off script here, but nevertheless takes down Blind with relative ease. But we have found pretty much everything. We have cleared out Thieves Town, which did have some good, at least the cane, so definitely not going to say no to that, but at the same time, still doesn't really point us in another direction yet for A Link to the Past, although, as we mentioned a while back, we can still clear Desert now and check the Pyramid Ferry, so there's still quite a lot available for the west side of Hyrule and the Dark World in this seed.
Also, you can also check out the Stumpy, the digging game, the dig spot, because nobody's checked that out yet. Ooh, and Boots. Boots in the brewery in the Village of Outcasts. So that unlocks even more for him.
Yes, indeed. Now we can check Bonk Rocks, and Aussie may route that in relatively soon.
Oh, one thing I want to point out about that cane in Thieves Town is that it's enabling Aussie to do a check that he wouldn't normally be able to do. So, unfortunately, he has half magic, so it's going to take him a long time to drain his magic, but he is going to do the fake powder to check out the magic bat here. I wasn't even considering this on his first trip through Village of Outcasts.
Yes, in order to perform the fake powder glitch, what you must do is use the Cane of Samaria, and as you do so with no magic, switch to the mushroom. The action of doing so, for whatever reason, emulates the usage of the magic powder, allowing you to check the magic bat. He curses us with just a big 20.
You drained all your magic for this. Probably the best curse at the Magic Battle Galaxy come through that actually is a curse.
Ooh, Solsky taking that gravity suit and heading to Meridia. Now, this is definitely another place where we really could find a lot of stuff.
Zelda in the early 90s had this strange fascination with bat demons cursing you with beneficial things. So you've got the
You're-
magic bat here to curse you with half magic, and then you've got the sort of like demon bat things in Link's Awakening who would say, haha, now you have to carry more bombs, sucks to be you carrying all this junk. And he's like, okay.
Well, Nintendo would kind of play on that later with the cursed chests in Paper Mario Thousand Year Door. Alright, we're getting a look at Mama Turtle Room now from Solski with, first off, we get an energy tank. Second off, we get, let's see,
Something
couldn't
purple.
see what that was.
energy tank.
Another E-tank. I've seen Mama Turtle Room end up having go mode items on a couple of occasions. And Aussie now finally picking up that trash, as the guy says, from the race game. Although I don't believe Aussie views the high jump boots as trash, given the circumstances. Although we can fly.
And I can fly higher.
Very nice Shine Spark from Maximum Barnage to pick up the Heart Container and Main Street missiles. And a green bottle in, or bottle of green goo in Crab Supers, and we get the Ice Rod in Meridia as well. So, interesting. Excuse me. Quite a few interesting starts to Meridia here.
Hats gives us a very quick look at the Ether tablet by Tao of Hair, and it's a Heart from the Future, which is going to be a Super Metroid E-Tank. He checks his map to reaffirm that Tao of Hair is a pendant and decides to skip it.
And that's a huge mistake because that's where his glove is.
Yeah, I mean, you can just dip in and get the items really quickly. It doesn't take much time. It's sort of like extended overworld if you think of Thieves Town first 4 chests as overworld. So hopefully he does it when he's finished with Eastside Death Mountain. But given that he was right there and chose to walk by it, that's not looking good for him.
No, it is not. And just an energy tank in King's Tomb. But we have Solski going ahead and checking out the aqueduct. 2 items in here, one of them being our second sword upgrade. We've been long overdue for this, quite frankly, and there's a big 20 further down.
We're still less than an hour in. I've seen Master Swords way later than that.
Very true. I mean, some have had to go all the way to GT.
Stolsky taking the save here, so he's going to be checking out the sand pit. Then if he doesn't like what he sees, just resets and goes check out the other sand pit after reset.
And the watering hole just had, I believe, a heart container and some bombs.
Oh, Varia suit. Yeah, he's not going to be resetting for that.
Yeah, that's definitely that's the big one right now for Super Metroid, because now we can full clear. Wow, we can full clear pretty much everything in Super Metroid. You know, ammo issues notwithstanding.
So the seed was actually really pointing you towards Meridia.
Definitely. Gravity Suit and Wreck Ship. Grapple Beam and Blind's Hideout. So now Solski's going to go ahead and check the dreaded Shack Tool. We did get Ether from the digging game. Just 6 digs for that prize.
Unfortunately, with this early Meridia, there is not much reason to skip Shack Tool, because you still need a bunch of items. So we are getting the worst check in Super Metroid coming right up.
Yeah, and I just noticed Maximum Barnage just picked up the sword from Aqueduct, but it is his first. He has not yet been to the high jump area, but we get Morph Ball bombs in K45. Next up on Aussie's list, Stumpy, and most likely mirroring to a shovel check. To answer your question in chat, Ice Rod was in Meridia.
Good man, Solsky blows up Shack 2 on his way out of the room.
Alright, what was all that for? Just a lot of love. I think Shack Tool was going to use that as a bribe. Oh no, wait, you use rupees as a bribe. What am I thinking?
So still wanting to hang on to that fair suit. Solsky is not resetting. He's going to be make his way out and make his way to the left sandpit. And also he's going to give us a look at the Bombers tablet. It's a rupee hoard. Hell yeah.
And yeah, it looks like Aussie is going straight into Desert Palace. And that's going to net him his second Pyramid Fairy Crystal.
Barnage is also taking the Shack Tool bait, unfortunately.
Yeah, now Desert wasn't boots locked at Desert was not boots locked, but Aussie should have no problem clearing this even despite that.
Well, he's got the lamp, so he can actually finish Desert whilst he's here, unlike I think it was Hatch that checked it out first.
Yeah, I think Hatch was missing and is still missing his power gloves.
Yep, skipping Tower of Hair is going to burn him, really.
Yeah, and unfortunately Titan's mitts are hard required for this seed as we do need them for Ice Palace. Actually, they're hard required any seed because you need them for 3 dungeons, Ice, Mire, and T-Rock.
Well, considering Maya, you don't need Titan's Mist to get into that in Super Metroid.
Right, because you can get backdoor through Norfair.
Yes. But you do need a Fair and Gravity Suit for that instead.
To answer your question in chat, the second sword was in the Aqueduct of Meridia. The first sword was in the high jump area in Upper Norfair. Oh, and I'm being reminded that Titan's Mitts are also required to get into GT, because yeah, otherwise you're not going to be able to get to the Dark Death Mountain.
Yes, you can't get into either Total Rock or GT without the Titan's Mitts, so it's your point about 3 Johnson still holds out. It's just you can get into Missing Mine and SMZ3 without the mitts. Ooh, Tempered Sword in the I always forget the name of it. Yeah, Crumble Tower, that was it.
Wow, yeah, that's definitely one you want to get as well, because that will allow you to avoid having to use mandatory spins on many bosses, including Ganon.
And Sasuke's going to be taking a quick bet on Croc here. I always like Croc bets.
Yeah, with Various Suit, this is an absolute cakewalk.
I'm not sure why he chose to go into the save room just there. This isn't map completion.
Not, maybe safety? He might be, you know what he might be doing? He might be checking all of Croc and deciding if it's not good, noping out.
Yeah, but he didn't even take the save. He just went into the save room and
he might have been farming supers then. Reloading enemies.
Ah, yeah, farming supers. That would be it, because he's only got 4 supers.
Actually, come to think of it, remind me again where Plasma Beam was hiding?
Paradox Cave.
It was where again? I'm sorry.
Paradox Cave.
Paradox Cave. Has Solsky been there yet?
I don't think so. Because he hasn't beat the Tower of Hair yet.
That's right. Oh, there is our other male upgrade behind Crocomire. Not exactly what we're looking for, but at the same time, it's a defense upgrade. You're not going to say no to that, especially considering how few heart containers we've had in Link to the Past up to this point. But with that, that is Thieves Town and Desert Palace cleared for Aussie, so next stop for Aussie after Agina, most likely going to be a save and quit to Link's house to check the Pyramid Fairy. And with Mirror and Flippers, we can actually get into and explore part of Swamp Palace all the way up to Left Side Swamp.
It looks like Hatch is going to make his Meridia visit now.
And Hatch, remembering that he does have to turn on Plasma Beam manually, that is a unfortunate consequence of Super Metroid's beam combination mechanic, where if Plasma and Spacer are used in combination, it breaks the game. Therefore, to prevent this, if the plasma beam is picked up in A Link to the Past, you must turn it on manually once entering Super Metroid.
I always like the name for the plasma spacer combo, Murder Beam. Murders more than you.
You basically, I think the way it works is it's possible to have like one shot of that, but that's it. Or something silly like that. I know there's a hack that does enable it. But we do have Aussie going ahead and taking that big red bomb to the Pyramid Fairy, and I don't believe we've had a Pyramid Ledge check. This may be a good excuse to also route in Catfish as well.
Stosky giving us a last look at our last Crocomire items. 5 missiles, not great, and a small shield.
And Solsky says nope.
Yeah, and he did not take that save, so he is having to walk out of here.
We got a bacon coin on the Pyramid Ledge. Might need that in case there's something important in the medallion dungeons. Might not need it.
Bacon coin near Gannon's hideout? That can't be a coincidence.
And utter garbage in Pyramid Fairy, so that was a big bait.
I don't think he's handed in the mushroom yet either, so he can hand in the mushroom RCC and then go over to Catfish. Not entirely bad.
No, unfortunately, it just won't get him what he's looking for, at least not off the mushroom.
Yeah.
We could have progression on Catfish, and I've seen that a lot lately too.
Yeah, it's not bad ruling-wise, but progression-wise, we'll find that out in a second, and Aussie takes a bonk off a bush. Now, that one was a proper use of mirror bonk there, because using the mirror does the same thing as screen transition here, and allows the magic shop to process your mushroom and turn it into 20 rupees.
That can't be legal. Never mind. But we've got Solsky going into Ridley's lair. Did Solsky not fight? He might be trying to route in Dragon later with like Ice Palace or something.
Yeah, maybe. I very much doubt he's going to go all the way to Ridley, because he's only got 25 supers.
Yeah, he is low on ammunition, but luckily with the space jump, we can check the Showcase Showdown item here. And this actually does also allow us to check the Mire area without Titan's Mitts.
Yes. So he may decide to dip out after checking out the Mire, which I imagine he's going to do after taking this way through.
Yeah, he could check Mire. He can also... did Solsky pick up the... Ooh! Ice Beam. That's a good one.
A nice ice beam.
Yeah, now Torian's free. And it's just missiles on top of Gold Torizo.
And unfortunately, the big gold bird is standing in his way, so he's going to have to take it out if he wants to check out Mire, or maybe some more of Lower Norfair.
I remember a seed quite some time back where, believe it or not, Moon Pearl was on the Screw Attack, Vanilla Screw Attack.
Also, he's making his way over to Ether Tablet. There's a good chance he's going to go over to Spike Cave too, right after this, because he has already cleared out here in East of Mountain. And that does look to be his goal.
Yeah, and Cana Burna makes Spike Cave free, pretty much, with Half Magic especially. We see Solsky having a few ammunition issues dealing with Gold Torizo, but will thankfully be able to farm them easily courtesy of Grapple Beam. And get right in that magical position to not take damage.
I was just thinking about his energy drops there. Something nice about the seed so far is that they picked up a lot of regular energy tanks and no reserve tanks. And I believe that was a bottle in Spike Cave for Aussie.
It was. It was a bottle with a fairy, which is definitely useful. But it looks like Aussie is finally going to reset to Super Metroid, and yeah, we know this is definitely on his must-do list.
Yeah, he really has got to head over to Meridia.
And we see
Although
that
he
it
does
is.
need a gravity suit first for on Rex ship. And it's Craig Medallion to get into Maya.
Yeah, and with our current equipment, Solsky can go right ahead and check Checkerboard Cave and the Mire Shed.
He can't check out Checkerboard Cave. No gloves.
Oh, right. Oh, man. I'm not used to people getting this to this seat going that long without the gloves, considering how long we've known they're there.
Clearly he's not used to it either.
And he's not going to get him for a while since he's nowhere near Hera. Hatch did pass through the sand pit that had the Varia suit, but he may be checking another sand pit first. Yeah, why did he reset without picking up Varia suit and not check the other sand pit?
Maybe he's, well, from his routing, and maybe he wants to go take on Dragon first and then get the sand pit on his way out of Meridia and pick up the Varia suit at that time, because
that does make sense, because after clearing Meridia, you can just route in Ridley.
Yeah, he's got space jump and high jump, so he can and screw attacks. He can easily get through Norfair. But this way, if he's not choosing to go back into Link to the Past, he can grab his face suit on the way out of Meridia and then go down to Norfair.
We did see the Spazer beam a while back in Mire Shed, but unfortunately, since for Solsky, it's not too bad since Solsky doesn't have Plasma Beam yet, but Spazer, not the most useful beam this late, again, given that we have Plasma. What I think our runners really want to see by now is Wave Beam, and Charge, obviously.
It's quite surprising that, considering everyone has a mirror, nobody except for Aussie has been into Tower of Hera yet. Solsky and Maximum Bunch haven't even been over there, and Hatch had the chance, but chose to skip by it, so he's missing out on those gloves.
Yeah, I mean, given that there is enough progression items to clear out the rest of Super Metroid, there's a very significant probability that those gloves will be last location. Maximum Barnage is giving us a look at Bubble Mountain. I don't recall us seeing this check yet.
Nobody's really been through Norfair yet, because nobody's really risked Helldive yet.
Ooh, but there is our other glove at the Bubble Mountain Reserve.
Very nice.
That is going to eventually be our Titan's mitts. Bit of a bailout for Maximum Barnage because he's gone quite a while without those gloves. Unfortunately, though, because of this, this may further keep Tower of Hera off of his to-do list.
Yeah, it just surprises me, because you don't really need gloves to check out Paradox Cave. You can just go in, and there's 7 items to grab in Paradox Cave. It's a lucrative location, and Hatch went over there, but he didn't check out Tower of Hera at the time. But it's still there for Solsky and Maximum Barnage waiting for him.
Ooh,
but sorry.
Just noticing we've found X-ray scope in the speed booster area.
So that unlocks some microwave beams.
We'll once we find our charge beam.
Oh yeah, true. Need charge beam.
And Aussie has just now finally gotten around to picking up that flute out of Retro Brinstar.
Yeah, I'd say that's one bad thing about Aussie's routing so far, is that he's missed out on that flute for quite some time, and it would have helped his mobility in Link to the Past a lot.
Yeah, luckily it was partially compensated by finding the Pegasus boots in the Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, Solsky and Barnage, despite getting their flutes early, they've spent most of their time in Super Metroid, because we've had all sorts of stuff to progress through Super Metroid, so they haven't really poked into Link to the Past at all. That's why they've been lacking their pad gloves.
Yeah, we've got Hatch as our first runner fighting Dragon. Now we'll see what strat he likes to choose here. I imagine we're going to be seeing some grapple frying strategies. And yep, grapple beam is out. Will he get a quick kill? Answer, not quite.
Yeah, how do you like your Dragon? Original or extra crispy?
Well, no, if he wanted it extra crispy, he would have gotten all the beam upgrades. But
I
fried
don't
was...
know. This Dragon looks pretty cooked to me.
Oh, absolutely. I'll gladly take fried shrimp over crispy, though. I like soft warm foods. Solsky, meanwhile, one boss goes down, another begins. Solsky taking on Ridley.
He's got 35 super missiles, so this is much more viable for him in 25 super missiles. I forget how many shots you do need to take out Ridley with just supers alone, but you don't want to be missing too many on him, even with 35.
It is 30.
30, right. So he can miss 5 times, and that's it.
And he's got to be careful, too, because he's out of missiles. But it looks like he got grabbed at the right health threshold, so Ridley goes down. That is 3 bosses each for Super Metroid for Hatch and Solsky. And it looks like Maximum Barnage will soon be following suit to take down Ridley. Still a couple of items to be seen here in the Ridley escape, but with pretty much all of Super Metroid checked out, where do we go from here? We still haven't seen... What haven't we seen yet? We now know where myths are, so we have logical access to Misery Mire, ironically.
Yeah, I think we've seen pretty much all of Super Metroid at this point. Barnes has given us our upper Norfair clear, and Solsky our lower Norfair clear. And Hatch 78 has taken out Dragon and finished our Meridia clear. So yeah, we've seen all of Super Metroid. We're just missing stuff in Link to the Past now. Only really Aussie has been doing Link to the Past stuff. And
Yeah.
he's still got plenty more he can do there.
Indeed, as we mentioned earlier, we can check some areas of Swamp Palace, and we can get into... Actually, we could full clear, I believe, Misery Mire, because we know where Kane is hiding. We have Quake, and we have Lamp. So yeah, we could theoretically get to Vitreous.
So we can do a clear of Ice Palace too, because we know how to get Titan's Mist now. Not now any of our runners have them yet, but it will do eventually.
Well, now we can because we have a Bombos medallion, so we have an advanced fire source to get past the front door.
Yes. Yeah, for some reason I was thinking Quake would take care of them. Never mind.
No, those are dead. That's for dead
Thank you, Varsity, for covering me. So yeah, we can... Oh, hey!
There's the other one.
We did it again. We call an item, and then there it is. So, Firewall and Ridley escape.
Now, here's a major kicker. Hookshot could still be on pedestal, but I think it is dependent on Ice Palace key layout. Actually, no, Ice Palace is pedestal, never mind.
Please, we had a hookshot on pedestal just 1 or 2 days ago in one of the Link to the Past tournament qualifiers. We cannot have another hookshot on pedestal. It is completely forbidden.
But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as what could be on pedestal besides Charge Beam.
Yeah, it could be, and that is horrible, but it's very, very slim chance a hookshot is on pedestal. There's plenty more we can still clear without that hookshot. But we are running out.
Yeah, but it is required for Swamp. And
the
possibly...
back of Swamp. We can clear most of front of Swamp, and, well, if you're playing the vanilla game, that's where the hookshot would be, so...
Indeed. Checkerboard Cave, we learn, is just a 10-arrow upgrade. And furthermore, with the discovery of that fire rod, and now that we have all of our medallions, Turtle Rock is full clearable.
Green Pendant Turtle Rock. Not something you really want to do, because it's just a lengthy dungeon, but there's lots of items in there. And an additional one, thanks to the Green Pendant.
Yeah, that brings the grand total of items to 6 for the Turtle Rock dive, plus the one in Mimic Cave. So make it 7.
So in Bunch's case, as soon as he heads over to Tower of Hell, he'll get his mitts, and then he will be in a good spot to check out Turtle Rock if he wanted, though he does need to grab that Cane of Samaria. Where was that Cane of Samaria again?
Cane of Samaria was in... I'm trying to think. It was in A Link to the Past. It was in Thieves' Town, Maiden Chest.
Oh yeah, Thieves' Town.
Now, thinking about it, Total Rock might be well, Solsky cannot get to Total Rock yet because still missing the other glove. Now, yeah, that's Solsky's major handicap right now is he's still missing the other glove, and so is Hatch for that matter. So while Total Rock is in play until until our runners pick up those Titans, Mitch, which neither runner has to be honest, we could not be seeing TR for a while.
Yeah, I think it's going to mostly depend on when Aussie decides to go do his Super Metroid stuff. As you see, he's going through Wreck Ship right now, so he is starting. He'll get his gravity suit. That will point him towards the various suits, then he can go get his Titan Smiths from there.
Yeah, it does seem like the order of the day has been get some things in Link to the Past, come back to Super Metroid, kill Kraid, do Wreck Ship, then do Meridia, then do Ridley, and then everything kind of falls into place after that.
Oh, he didn't even really need to kill Kraid other than just getting the boss kill. Because
Exactly.
he didn't have anything aside from quite a lot of energy tanks, I think.
Indeed. We did get a quick check of the plasma beam location from Hatch, and it was the Swagnet. Which we will probably need to kill Aga too. Nah, I jest.
Yeah, so that entirely covers Meridia now for Hatch. Well, maybe he hasn't been to Shakhtar yet.
Alright, Solsky getting that first glove upgrade now from Bubble Mountain. Or from Norfair Reserve, I should say. So... yeah, that's Solsky's Dark World access at 122.35. Yeesh.
Hatch grabbed his fairy suit after Dragon, like I thought, and now he's probably going to go down to Norfair and clear that out. Also get his first gloves in the process, so all of our other runners, except for Aussie, have gotten their gloves from Bubble Mountain so far, and I imagine Hatch will be the same, but Aussie is the only one to go into Tower of Hera and get that pair of gloves from there.
Yeah, that's... I mean, ultimately...
it's really surprising, considering how quickly Flute and Mirror came up in the seed.
Yeah, and it really just comes down to the fact that Hera was I think one of the major factors, I should say, is that Hera was a pendant. I mean, you don't want to dive pendant dungeons if you don't have to, and especially since Meyer and TR are pendants as well, you may not even need medallions. So,
and there's also the consideration that most people wouldn't have had Lamp going into Hera, so they're thinking, oh, gonna have to skip that room.
Ah, that is very true, although Hera wasn't fire locked this time around.
Yeah, it wasn't, which was really beneficial for Aussies. I think Hatch might have had the lamp near Hera, he just didn't go in. Where was the lamp again?
The lamp was in... having a bit of a brain hiccup here. It wasn't Eastern, it was in Hype Cave. Thank you, CRUX, for that one, our tracker. In fact, actually, let's take a quick minute since everybody's kind of just backpedaling through checks here. Let's take a minute to shout out our trackers, Semper Firedog and CRUX, for pressing all the buttons and making sure that everybody knows who's getting what today. And we should also take a moment to shout out our runners. Aussie 101, Solsky, Hatch 78, and Maximum Barnage, who are putting on a tremendous show for you this afternoon. But Aussie now finally picking up that gravity suit. Hatch picking up their third sword a few seconds ago from Crumble Tower, so our second runner to have Tempered Sword. Solsky finally picking up those silvers, so yeah, Solsky will be on Tempered Sword Silver Arrows for Ganon. That basically means Ganon's free. Well, as far as offense is concerned.
First, he's going to be taking him into pod, so we're seeing basically all of our runners retrace each other's steps at the moment. This just goes to show how really non-linear this seed was. There were plenty of ways he could go, and all of them have been turning up useful items.
Yeah, it's just really unfortunate that everybody except Aussie orphaned those gloves in Hera, because right now, considering what our other runners will be able to clear once they get the Bubble Mountain gloves, there's nothing convincing them to go back to Hera for a while. Because with their current equipment, they'll be able to clear Pod, they'll be able to clear Desert, they'll be able to clear Thieves Town. They'll be doing a lot before going back to going back up the mountain.
Yeah, there's nothing pointing them towards Turtle Rock yet, because it's going to be a while until they go to Beefstown to get their King's Mire. Both Barnett and Hatch should be getting their fire rods from Lower Norfair in the Ridley escape, but we'll have to see if the Hatch does decide to go down, because he's still in Upper Norfair right now, betting on Croc. Croc didn't really work out for Solsky, but Barnett has taken on Ridley and is making his way out, so he should be grabbing that fire rod pretty shortly. And that may point him up the mountain.
Yeah, now Aussie...
At the very
Aussie
least, I think Fire Road will point Barnett and Solsky towards Skullwoods and Feastown, and they'll get their King's Mire from there, and then they'll start thinking about the mountain.
Very true. Because, yeah, with that fire rod, we can now finally full clear Skull Woods. And we saw the front, but I don't think there was too much in there. Aussie's not yet picked up his ice rod, but will do so upon reaching Meridia.
Bombers for Barnett, that will be putting his ice pass in play as soon as he, he's going to get the fire rod shortly anyway, but still needs those gloves from Hera. That's basically the key to the seed for other runners.
Indeed. Actually, with our current equipment, Pedestal is in logic. And again, we have not seen, after a full clear of Super Metroid, mind you, we have not yet seen that hookshot.
Yeah, hopefully it's going to be in, there's quite a lot of places in Link to the Past it can be aside from Pedestal. It could be in Mizumaya, because we can use the boots to get across the gap in the front of Mizumaya. It could be anywhere in Turtle Rock, it could be anywhere in Ice Palace, back of Skull Woods. Yeah, I think that about covers it. Oh, and in front of Swamp Palace too. It could be there. So lots of places it could be hiding.
Yeah, ultimately, it's going to be to come down to if it's not there, where does it end up being?
Yeah, like I mentioned, it cannot be Pedestal. It is strictly forbidden to have a hookshot Pedestal again, only 2 days after the last one. It's written down in the rulebook, you see. No hookshot pedestals in the same week, more than once.
Are we sure we're not looking at the V31 rulebook? Nah, I'm kidding.
So Hatch is done with the Croquet, not really turning up anything, but we saw that on Solsky's side. Solsky's going to do his pod clear here. I don't think there was really anything in here that Aussie got that will be beneficial for Solsky. Barnes is making his way back through Bubble Mountain again after having finished off Ridley. He already got his gloves from here, so he's just got to get out.
Yeah, and Hatch is going to pick up that glove, so we'll finally be able to start doing some of those finally start getting around to doing some of those Dark World dungeons.
So Aussie also has to get his, he's got his ice rod, he also has to get his fairy suit from the sand pits and preferably take on Dracon whilst he's here. There's not really much reason for him to skip Dracon at this point. It's going to be, yeah, he's still on Fighter Sword, so he's going to be getting his Master Sword here first. And then probably taking the save in the save room and checking out the sand pits and getting that fairy. Very important fairy suit. And Barnes is now starting his Meridia clear. not going to Pod and Eastern like Solsky chose to, so Barnage did clear out a bunch of Moody earlier, so he's just returning just to take on Dragon and be done with Super Metroid, and can commit himself to Link to the Past stuff.
All right, Solsky finally picking up that ice rod. Time to see what Batwoon, what trouble Batwoon will give Aussie rather. Did I say Solsky earlier? Yeah, I don't know why, but I have a tendency
we're gonna end up with an Oski team in the next Super Metroid Z3, well, ZM3 tournament if you're not careful. Yeah, we're basically seeing quite a lot of retracing of steps right now. Not really anything new coming up, and I doubt there will be for some time, because it's going to be a case of when people decide to. Well, there's Ice Palace. Runners can go to Ice Palace, and we haven't seen that at all yet. But Ice Palace is just like, yeah, people would rather do every other dungeon before Ice Palace first. And it's going to be a case of diving the two pendants, Misery Might and Turtle Rock.
Well, that is of course when they pick up their Titan's mitts.
So Aussie will be getting those probably pretty soon.
Certainly has no reason to pass them up at this point.
He'll either get them either doing an upper north air clear before Ridley, or on his way out of Ridley and going through Bubble Mountain.
Hatch is back for Shine Spark strats here.
Hatch is back on the mountain, taking the north air exit, but he's still skipping up Tower of Hera. This is gonna bite him.
Yep. Ooh, nice Shine Spark, and is that a blue suit I see from Aussie?
He's looking pretty blue right now. Blue suit is a fun glitch, which is most easily activated by killing Dragon with a Shine Spark, where it effectively stores your Shine Spark for you to use whenever you like. Also, it makes you blue, and Summons looks good in blue.
I've actually seen this used in a hard mode seed a couple of weeks ago to carry a Shine Spark from, I think it was the Crate elevator all the way to Aqueduct without speed booster.
As we saw, they also used it to do the reverse halfie.
Now, with the Fire Rod in hand, Solsky might give us a check of Skull Woods real quick before doubling back to Thieves Town. Yeah,
I think we've only seen one item in Skull Wood. There's still stuff lurking in the back for us to get.
And you know what else I just thought? And Semper Fire Dog is right on board with me. We have a way to kill Mothula, and we got a mirror. You know what that translates to with a book in hand.
Yep, pedestal check. Now, there's only one thing that can be on a pedestal that's useful, and that is the hookshot. There could be the charge beam there, but nobody's going to go do pedestal for the charge beam.
No, especially considering the pendant layout. You don't want to do Mire and Turtle Rock just for charge beam. And you certainly don't want... all of our fetch quest items have been checked already. Mushroom was junk, Powder was junk, and Shovel was junk. So, yeah, fetch quest items will not be on the pedestal.
I'll say also taking the Shaktor bait. Shaktor is taking no prisoners today.
Yeah, he's also going to take a lot of super missiles to the face as a result of this, unfortunately. For him.
And Maximum Barnes is making his way into Dragon. Now, he hasn't got his Plasma Beam or Charge Beam, so no microwaving, but he's probably going to be frying the shrimp with the Grapple Beam instead.
All
Solsky
right.
on his way to Morphula.
I can't remember. Did we see an item in Skullwoods before Mothula?
We did. It was just something meaningless, like a piece of heart.
That's what
But
I
I think
thought.
it was only one item so far. So there's something either here on Morphula or in the chest by the back entrance. I think, anyway. I'm pretty sure we haven't seen 2 items.
Yeah, I don't think we saw 2 items for sure. But it's going to be either on Mothula here or it's going to be in that back chest. And it will be on Mothula, just an E-Tank. So no further progression in Skull Woods. So it's starting to look like we might have to dip a pendant dungeon soon. Well, we could full clear ice once we get Titans.
Well, we've already got to dip 1 pendant dungeon for the Titansmiths. Just how much else are we going to have to dip is the question.
Right.
Solsky hasn't grabbed a first item from the front of Skullwood, so he's going back here to get the chest here. And then
Yeah,
he may
this
be
is
taking a minute to check out that pedestal.
Yeah, this is a fairly common practice for dives into Skull Woods, is to just go straight to Moth and hope both items show up in the back. And Solsky is not checking the pedestal. I am disappointed.
I mean, there's so much stuff that they can check that's not pedestal, but maybe hookshot. That can't really fault him for this. He does also need a cane of Samaya.
Yeah, well, to be fair, that's right. That's coming right up, because
And
Solsky will take that up at Thieves' Town.
where's the big key on Desert? Was that on the torch?
It was not on the torch. It was in the right side, and the small key was free.
Okay, right. So don't need boots for that.
Nah, Desert wasn't boots locked. Hera wasn't fire locked. That was one gracious, sort of gracious thing about the seed, is that once you had the minimum, you only needed the absolute minimum requirements for those 2 dungeons.
And there's nothing in King's Tomb, and the
No.
library ledge was just library ledge was just power bombs, if I remember correctly.
Yes.
So nothing really need the boots for.
But Aussie, our first runner at 138.25 to pick up those Titans mitts.
So the Worlds of Ice Palace and Total Rook are now available for him. He's going to have to go Ice Palace anyway because it's a crystal. There's 3 items to grab in there, and plenty more in Total Rook if he hasn't got that hookshot yet.
Yeah, it does open up the Smith chain as well, so we could see that.
It might be a while before he goes back there because he has already cleared out Thieves' Town and done the whole South Dark World route.
Yeah, I would wager Aussie's first stop back in Link to the Past will be Ice Palace.
I think it's going to be very unlikely we'll be seeing the Smith chain anytime soon because Solsky's also making his trip to Thieves' Town. Still doesn't have those other gloves from Tower of Hera, so it's going to be super late Titans for the rest of our runners.
Yeah, and one thing that was really interesting is, all things considering, Pod was empty, and that's not something you normally see out of a 5-item dungeon. Aussie is farming up some ammunition here. Might just be getting extra ammo for Crystal Flashes. Oh, he's farming up for Ridley.
Yeah,
Doing it
Ridley.
here. I think it might be slightly faster than constantly reloading the room with the red zoomers. Wow, about 100 minutes in, and our runners still don't have a second line of hard containers yet either. And they're all passing up the one in Bubble Mountain.
Yeah, Hatch is on red mail first, so he's pretty protected at least.
That is
Bonus
very
picks up
true.
his house.
Yeah, that's right, because he picked up the mail upgrade from Ridley, and the other mail upgrade was in
Paradox.
Thieves' Town. That's the one.
Yeah, both mail upgrade and plasma beam were in Paradox. And one other thing, I think, but I can't remember what it is.
What else was in Paradox? I'm trying to remember. It was something interesting. Alright, what is, Ah, I see what he's doing. Well, unfortunately, went a little too high and bonked on the ledge. I think he was going to shine spark through this room to get to the Terizo statue.
Self-denied, unfortunately.
Maximum
But
Barnes picking.
yep. That just gets you into Maya. Hookshot can be in Maya because we know where boots are, and boots will get you into the rest of Maya.
Yeah, interestingly, we don't, while it's not really that relevant given the circumstances, we still don't know what Turtle Rock's medallion is either. Granted, all the medallions were free this seed. Ether was in the Dig game, Quake was on the Pyramid, and Bombos was in Ridley Escape. Normally, no one's going to pass those up.
Only Ossian had to have been on East F Mountain, and neither of them had the mitts when on East F Mountains. So, haven't seen Super Bunny Cave or Hookshot Cave or Turtle Rock at all.
Yeah, and although to be fair, we really couldn't get those Titans mitts that much faster because again, you had to go to logically, you had to go to Wreck Ship first, then Meridia, then Norfair to get the various suits. You can pick those up, so or for the second glove, I should say.
It does surprise me how Death Metal was put off for so long, considering how early Flute and the Mirror were. Now, Ozzy having gloves is going to be able to check out Checkable Cave, unlike Solsky, who kind of tugged at Rock a bit and thought, oops.
We did see this already from Barnage, and it was just plus 10 sticks.
Oh yeah. He did check it out.
And we get to hear Blind's pun, or see Blind's pun again. Something about a bright future. This coming from the demon who just got blinded by the light.
Barnage having Master Sword, well, Tempered Sword instead of Fighter Sword, is going to be able to get that 300 rupees from a tablet instead of just finding out about it.
Yeah, so far our book checks, besides getting us into Desert, haven't been particularly helpful, although the book... I think we could have gotten away without the book so far. Because Mirror was free, right? Yeah, it was in Green Brinstar. There was nothing in Desert, so... Yeah, we could have gone to the Mire entrance and just Mirror to Desert, so... Don't you guys get me started on these ped checks.
I mean, Solsky had the opportunity. He's just... It's a very, very safe gamble that Hookshot isn't on Ped. There's still a chance.
Yeah, there's like, how many checks in total? 316?
Yeah, 316 total across the whole of Randomizer, and of course that's including things like Ganon's Tower, where Hookshot obviously can't be.
Yeah, there are of course those few exceptions. But still, it's a less than 1% chance.
Something else to point out about Ganon's Tower is that you also can't find progression for Super Metroid in Ganon's Tower. You will never have progression of any kind in Ganon's Tower. Not counting things like swords, like if you're still on Fighter Sword and going into Ganon's Tower and you find a sword there, yes, that will be technically progression for you, but it's not really part of the logic.
I've seen Speed Booster in GT. Actually, in one nasty seed we had, I saw Speed Booster in GT a couple weeks back.
Yeah, I've seen Speed Boost in GT too, but the Speed Boosters, as far as I know, have not been required. I mean, please do correct me.
They weren't. They weren't required, but it was a nasty last location for Speed Booster. It was in one of the Ice Armos chests. No, it wasn't. It was in one of the in the Compass Room chests.
Well, Hatch hasn't been down to Lower Norfolk yet, so he's missing that fire rod from the Ridley escape, so he's not going to be able to do much in Skullwood. So he's just going to do Feast Town for now. There's nothing really in Skullwood, but we still don't know the pedestal, and he's certainly not going to be checking it for us.
Nope. Most likely at this point... I
don't think it's going to be... It looks like Barnett is going to be giving us some new content. He's going to be checking out the front of Swamp.
Ooh, this is a gutsy play indeed, and Hookshot could very well be in here. Could be vanilla. But yeah, this I would imagine. You know what it might be? Barnage probably thinks that. I don't know if he thinks he feels behind right now, because he hasn't really last location, or he will be last locationing those mitts, but he doesn't. It doesn't feel like he's last location anything. I don't think
Well,
to him.
look at his link to past turns and progression. It's basically nothing except for Eastern Palace, and so he reckons everybody's going to have cleared Eastern Palace by now. He's hoping on a gamble and try and find an item here because he's got loads of other stuff available to him that he can do full clear, like say Skullwards, but he's gambling on finding an item here in front of Swamp. It's literally, I'm going to gamble this, hope I find something big, and take the rest of the seed with that. Now we know he's got to. We know he's got to find Cane of Samaya in Feast Town. We don't know where Hookshot is.
Yeah, and as far as Barnage is aware, the only other check he can make is this one right here in Swamp Palace, that everybody else hasn't.
So this is actually a really good gamble for him. We don't know if it's going to be useful yet, but it's a gamble that at least somebody needs to make. Because Hookshot certainly isn't anywhere else so far.
You know, if we don't see any sign of the hookshot before Big Chest, we are going to probably see left side swamp.
Yes. So if Hookshot isn't here, obviously this is going to be a pretty big waste of time for him, considering he will be checking out that left side, having dived in here. But if he does find it, it's going to pay off space for him, but he has to get over to Beefstown straight away to get that Cane of Samaya right after this, for it to really pay off. Because it means if he does find Hookshot here, he can go mode stuff like Ice Palace. He will not have to think about diving into Missing Maya or Turtle Rock at all.
That was like a frame perfect chest opening there. Very impressive. Solsky's now just finally checking back of escape with those gloves.
I mean, for both Barnage and Solsky, they were super late gloves because they spent all of their time in Super Metroid. They had to go get their gravity suits from the wreck ship and then their fair suits in Meridia, and then they could go get their gloves from Bubble Mountain.
Right, now Aussie's going to pick up their Bombos and Fire Rod, so that's going to be Aussie's Ice Palace entry. And luckily, with their current equipment, Cold Stare shouldn't be too much trouble. Aussie doesn't have Tempered Sword just yet. I'm trying to think what sword he's missing. I want to say it's the high jump area one? Oh, it's Purple Tower. Okay. Well, he's going to get it then. It's in a couple minutes.
Yeah, he's probably not going to be leaving that behind. Fortunately, it does mean he's going to be probably checking out the whole of Crocomire area too, and Crocomire is useless, but yeah.
Yeah, safer, I think, maybe a little bit more ammo and health. Hatch, meanwhile, is going to get that cane.
Craig Medallion was on the pyramid, so he cannot get that. Well, he cannot use that to get into Maya yet. But he's got the Cane of Samaya for Turtle Rock, and if he decides to head in that direction without the mitts, he should get his mitts from South Hair. It's unfortunate for him that he did skip South Hair for being right outside it. Okay, left side. Oh, gold sword for Barnet. And because he doesn't have a hookshot, he has to jump down and climb the stairs again. But that's not what Barnet is looking for.
No, and unfortunately, it's actually a good possibility that if our runners find the hookshot before Swamp, before they go mode Swamp, then we're not going to be seeing that Butter Sword on everybody.
Well, Butter Sword is almost strictly luxury. It helps a little bit of Ganon, and that's mostly it.
Yeah.
It's nice for Vitreous too if you don't have silver arrows, but everybody has silver arrows here.
Yeah, the silvers were free this seed, but it was just a big 20 and that sword in left side swamp, so the hookshot is not in Swamp Palace. That's one of the more dense locations taken off the map for now.
So to count out the pendants, we're looking to see somebody go into Ice Palace now, and only Aussie can go in Ice Palace.
I wouldn't be surprised to see a Meyer dip within the semi-near future. Although, actually, nobody besides Aussie checked that, because they're missing their, Oh, no, Solsky's about to get his Quake, so... Or has already picked up his Quake.
Yeah.
I should say.
Yeah, so Solsky has access. Well, he has got to get his Titan's Mitts from... He's either got to go back through Lower North again, and nobody's going to do that to get to Maya, or get the Titan's Mitts from Tower of Hera.
Oh, Aussie did not get that Tempered Sword out of Crumble Tower. Granted, that's not going to be too big a deal. Runner of Aussie's caliber can even do Master Sword Ganon without much difficulty. Oh, get your hype in chat, ladies and gentlemen. Maximum Barnage is checking the pedestal.
I am surprised he's going for this instead of just heading into the Dark World and going to do Skull Woods first. But hey, he's going to have a look.
I think he wants to know now in case he learns ahead of time it's oops all dungeons. And the answer to that is... It's Charge Beam!
Yeah, nobody's going to go for that.
Wow.
So, this was a pedestal
Logically-
seed. Yeah, this was a pedestal seed, but yeah, nobody's going to go for that.
So, Ped is... alive in an alternate universe. Let's just go that way. Wow. So yeah, well, I was hoping it would be something logically mandatory, but at least it ain't hookshot. But yeah, no one's going for that. It does mean, however, that Solsky's gonna, or I should say, Barnage will now think about ammunition, taking ammunition into consideration when looking for items in the open.
So where in the world is Hookshot?
I'm guessing Meyer. We've had there's been a good amount of time where we can take a peek in there.
Yeah, it's down to Maya, Ice Palace, Turtle Rock, and Darky Step Mountain. Could even be in Hookshot Cave. That'd be quite ironic if it was.
Yeah, it could be in that first chest. We've got a lot of varying guesses in the chat. That just goes to show the it just goes to show how little we know about where Hookshot, about how little how much I should say we still have to check. Sorry, I'm jumbling my words all over the place today. But yeah, there's still so much we could check, and it's just and that's our go mode item pretty much at this point, is that hookshot.
Barnage, now having checked out the pestle, is going for Skullwood, so he's lost a little bit of time routing it like this, but he just have to know that pestle is useless, and that's it. If he's going for pendants, it's just going to be finding the hookshot. Once he finds the hookshot, he's done.
Yeah, I think I understand what the idea was for checking Ped first. It's like, maybe you can get that knowledge ahead of time and then know it's in all dungeons, so that way you know exactly as soon as you find,
But that's why he did the front of Swamp as well, before anything else that it could logically fall clear. He was just gambling to find an item because he thinks he's behind.
Right. Ossie's gonna get the pedestal check as well. And yep, he's gonna be semi-relieved to know that he doesn't need to do that. And answer question, chat, it is 60 super missiles for Mother Brain.
I think the most super missiles anybody has so far is 35. So that's kind of unusual.
Solsky has 50.
50. Oh yeah, that's right on the screen. So not quite enough for Mother Brain, but Depending on what pops up before we find hookshot, we may be well over that super missile threshold for Mother Brain. And it can cover some amount of super missiles with ordinary missiles too, and as you can see, Starsky has 100 of those, so he's not in a bad spot.
Hatch is taking on Lanmolus now using Ice Rod strats, but having a little bit of trouble there.
Yeah, the Ice Rod is slow. It's much easier to do fire rod strats on Lanmolus, but if you're used to the speed of the Ice Rod and can time it right, it works pretty well on Lanmolus. It's probably your best option to kill it in the vanilla game.
Yeah, although Hatch does have Tempered Sword as well, so it does about the same damage.
Surprised he doesn't have silvers yet, actually. I'm sure he's seen them on Lake Hylia Island.
I'm pretty sure everybody checked those. Aussie is giving us a look at our Smith chain now.
Oh yeah, I completely forgot Smith chain. Hookshot could be here. Well, it's not to begin with, but we've also got Purple Chest coming up, so maybe.
I'm curious to see if Aussie is going to show us the Phantom Chest glitch. Are you familiar with this?
Very familiar, because I've seen it a lot this lately, but there's really no reason to, because we've got Flute.
Fair enough. Yeah, I can't remember who was commenting with me on that day that Aussie did that, and I noticed what was happening, and as soon as I pointed it out, I showed it off, and got a very nice reaction from that.
Piece of art. So, yeah, it looks like we are going to have to go pendants for our hookshot.
Unless it's in Hookshot Cave, which is pretty much the only other spot it could be besides
Yeah.
Super Bunny.
Well, Aussie's heading in that direction. Or not, nope. I think he's going back into North End, check out stuff like Crumple Tower and Crocomire area.
Ay, ay, ay. Well, we know this is going to at least get Aussie Tempered Sword. An answer question, chat. It was not Hookshot on pedestal, but it was Charge Beam.
And ain't nobody going for that charge beam. Unless we have to go... Like, worst case of hookshots and now would be green pendant. And if you have cleared out every single dungeon to get a hookshot, maybe you could get charge beam. Maybe.
That is absolute worst case scenario. That Hookshot is on green pendant. Solsky, I think Solsky's realized what's happened and is heading back to Death Mountain and is most likely going straight to Hera. After checking Ether Tablet if he hasn't already. Answer question, chat. Bumper Cave was junk.
A single arrow. Of Destiny, yes, they call it, but I don't recall any bows in Destiny 1 or 2. Also, he drops down after seeing a sword and thinks, nope, I'm going back for that. Unfortunately, the Crocomire is a big waste of time, so he's spending time on that. Time our other runners need to catch up.
Granted, it will still be a while before they can catch up. Hatch still has to actually go to Lower Norfair to pick up that Fire Rod. But Solsky has gone into Tower of Hera, so now we may finally we're gonna see him finally get those Titans. Miss?
Nope.
Oh, I get it. He literally just wanted to check that one chest in the front to see if it was quick and easy, and the answer was nope. That is definitely something I'm going to bring up with him in the interview.
Yeah, and then he gets himself a dead rock blocked for his trouble. I think it's just... Yeah, he was just checking out the floating island because no meds. He just was right there and passed him by.
I mean, the mitts are literally in the front under the mat in this case. Well, in another dimension too, but you get the idea.
So after Ossie's done here, he took a save out of front of Norfair, so I think there's really no chance he's going to not go Ice Palace after this. It's his last crystal dungeon that he can do, and he can full clear it. And then after that, we may be seeing he may do front of Swamp first, and he won't find anything because Barnes went there and found nothing but a gold sword. Then he may choose to go Mizumai because it's way quicker to get into and clear than Turtle Rock, and then finally Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and as I said before, I feel like Mire, honestly, is where Hookshot's going to be ending up. Granted, there's not that many items in Mire, but even still, given the way this seed's been treating us with items all over the place, I feel like Mire's the best spot.
Oh yeah, the other item in Paradox Cave was a bottle. We were commenting on it at the time because it was the first bottle, which unlocks Sick Kid.
That's right. Nice jump there from Aussie. Damage boost, rather. That's going to put his super missile count at 50, so yeah, at this point, Aussie is taking ammo into consideration, since he knows about the charge beam.
It's actually not bad as he's coming down here just to... He's leaving. Okay. Yeah, it's not bad that he's coming down here just to get the super missiles. Did he not check out the bottom items?
I'm not sure. I don't think he did. But as far as Aussie's ammunition is concerned, he also has 115 missiles backing him up, so ammunition should be okay for him for the rest of the seed. I can't foresee him having that much trouble with his current stacks, because I'm trying to think. Do super missiles do double damage to Mother Brain?
Nah, just they do extra damage to Ridley, but Mother Brain takes normal damage.
Okay, so yeah, then it is, then yeah, he's got effectively an extra 10, 20, 23 super missiles in his regular missile count, so yeah, he's fine.
I think Solski's gonna go to Maya now.
Yeah, that looks like where he's going, because there's no need to otherwise to go back down to Ridley, or to Lower Norfair.
Yeah, he doesn't have those Titans miss because Solski is a bit silly and skipped them right there in Tower of Hair after dipping in and thinking, well, no, that's enough for me, I'm out. So he's got to take the long way to Maya, and that's what he's doing. Ossie's back on the mountain. Yeah, he's going to check out Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny Cave first.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised after this if he's going to Turtle Rock.
I mean, Go Mode Ice Palace is a lot nicer than non-Go Mode Ice Palace. I'd still just go there first anyway, because it's my last possible crystal dungeon.
Well, here's an interesting thing. If in case Hookshot is in Turtle Rock, or maybe if it's on Trinex, full clear Turtle Rock isn't that much faster than Go Mode Turtle Rock. So say Hookshot's on Trinex, and everybody's got to do that clear anyway, so you're not going to lose that much time. And if you can use that to go Mode Ice Palace, all the power to you. Not to mention you'll be able to go Mode Swamp with it.
Yeah, Ossie's opening it up. We have to see if he decides to go in. He's obviously going to do Hookshot Cave and Super Bunny first before that, but after that...
Solski, meanwhile, is going into, has dipped into Mire, and Hatch is right behind him.
No that was another shield in the front of Hookshot. Okay, missiles, first item in Maya.
Only one item left up for grabs in there.
Hey!
Oh,
there it is. Hookshot and Super Bunny.
And at 2:05:25, Aussie is now in go mode.
So Solski has really done a big oops by skipping those mitts, because he could have gone Hookshot right there and also be in go mode.
Yeah,
that's dear.
That's just a huge oof moment.
And Hatch could also have grabbed those power gloves from Tower Bear when he was walking by the first time, and would be on mitts right now, and could go to Super Bunny and get a Hookshot. Oh, dearie me.
Yeah, and at this point, given how much Aussie's cleared already as well in terms of Zelda dungeons, he's already got 5 crystals compared to everybody else's 3 to 4. It's his race to lose right now.
Yeah, he's not going to be wasting any time checking out left side Swarm, not going to be dipping into Maya, can completely ignore Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that's actually like one of the best spots you could find hookshot, because that is another bailout. So you don't have to think about dipping it. But yeah, like I was saying earlier, we find hookshot before Swamp or Ice, so now we can go mode both dungeons, and Ossie's just gonna have a clean breeze.
Yeah, I wonder when Barnes is actually going to go and do his Death Mountain clear. Because I don't think he's been on it at all. I don't think he's even retrieved the old man.
I don't think so. No. Yeah, he hasn't cleared. He hasn't done Old Man.
So assuming Barnett does not make the mistake of not clearing out Tower Pair and getting those Titan Smiths, he could be getting that hookshot second. And then he'll be in go mode before Solsky and Hatch would be ridiculously funny.
That would be funny. Although Barnage can full clear Pod, or has not gone to Pod yet.
True, Pod is loaded with items and he hasn't been there. Unfortunately, he spent some time doing things like checking Pedestal before doing Skull Woods and doing the front of Swamp before anything else. So he's wasted a little bit of time here.
Yeah, all things considering, as soon as you got those Titans mitts, you can go grab that hook shot. So I'm trying to think what the overall logic chain was to be for that hook shot. So before Titans mitts, let's say. So for Dark World access, we had to get gloves out of Hera. Pearl and Hammer were free. They were in Brinstar. So then you had to go to Meridia to get your Varia suit, to go to Norfair to get your Fire Rod and Bombos for ice. And, well, first you had to go to Wreck Ship to get the Gravity suit, which also allowed you to pick up and with Varia suit, you can get the mitts in Bubble Mountain. And once you had mitts, you can go and get the hookshot. So yeah, I think I've got this logic chain together now. Aussie is going to, thinking about it, considering he just has to go mode Ice Palace and do GT and Mother Brain, Aussie is going to finish with an absolutely stellar time at this rate.
Get some bombs from Argus, and now he's going to be heading over to Gans Tower. So, if you want to take a guess where that big key is in Gans Tower, please do enter a number in chat. I'm going to go for my regular guess of 19, simply because the seed almost sort of made you go aggro 1, but not really.
Can I stop you for a second? We kind of still have to do Ice Palace.
Oh, yeah, Ice Palace. Duh.
Sorry, guys, we're jumping the gun a little bit here.
Yeah, I like to forget about Ice Palace at the best of times.
That's alright, I can understand that. Nobody likes Ice Palace.
I heard a certain guy named Koi likes Ice Palace, but his opinion doesn't count.
Well, to be fair, with hints on an Ice Palace, you get the intel of potential 3 items along with the 3 items inside, so it makes Ice Palace a little more interesting in Rando. Not so much with hints off and in vanilla. Because who likes ice physics? Alright, so Barnage is checking Catfish. Hatch is on the way to Ridley. Hatch actually has a good chunk of supers, almost at the minimum 60. Can't remember if there were any supers in Ridley Escape.
And he's got 125 missiles. I think he's covered. Still, Mother Brain takes a lot of hits to kill. You don't really want to be missing many shots at her.
Yeah, and without Charge Beam, we will not be seeing the stand-up glitch. Stand-up glitch is a glitch where if you reduce your health to a certain threshold during Mother Brain's laser eye sequence, you can manipulate her AI to trigger the baby rescue cutscene as you're while you still have control. In doing so, you could pump charge shots into Mother Brain while the baby Metroid is healing you. However, this can only be done with the charge beam because only the charge shots can damage Mother Brain. The laser attack would take out your missiles otherwise. Alright, Maximum Bondage has gone back to Death Mountain. All eyes on him if he goes to Tower of Hera at this point.
Also, he tried to be a silly goose and try hovering over this gap, and now just goes for the regular bomb jump. Takes out half his health in the process of trying to hover, though. Not like, unfortunately for him, Coldster's going to be no difficulty at all, because he's got half magic, bombers, fire rod, tempered sword, silvers, easy Coldster.
And I'm pretty sure he's also got that fairy in a bottle from earlier as well, from the speed booster area. Oh, that wasn't a fairy in a bottle. Somebody had a fairy in a bottle, and I don't remember who it was.
He should have a blue potion too. I think that wasn't... Yeah, the blue potion was in Paradox Cave.
Yeah, he hasn't burned that yet either, so yeah. Ossie's got plenty of safety.
Hey, Barnes is going into the tower. Let's see how far he goes.
Yeah, to answer a question in chat, since there are no ammunition drops in the Mother Brain or Ridley fights, the only way to normally damage them by that point in the vanilla game is Charge Beam if you run out of ammunition. But if you don't have Charge Beam and you run out of ammo, you have no way to damage either boss, and that is effectively a soft lock, and you do not want that to happen. Alright.
So Barnett's grabbed his big key and is taking the regular way up instead of Hairpod, so he's going to be looking at the big chest on his way and getting those Titan Smiths, finally.
And there is a key on Cold Stare, so Ice Palace was Somaria locked, so you had to do Thieves Town first.
Not that anybody ever cares about Somaria lock for Ice Palace.
But for real this time, now we can play the GT Big Key guessing game. So yes, there are 22 locations, 21 chests, and 1 torch where the Big Key could be hiding. Get your guesses in chat from 1 to 22. I am going to guess... Considering we've had a fast seed already, I like it to keep going fast, so I'm going to say 1.
1? Gutsy. Which one do you think that is going to be? Right side or Bob's torch?
Bob's torch. I haven't seen the big key on Bob's torch in a while.
A couple of days ago I saw silvers on Bob's torch, so everybody was able to grab those on their way to the big key, which was in the Stalfos room in the left.
Ah.
And Solsky is now doing front of swamp. He's really played himself here by missing out on those Titan Smiths in Hera.
Yeah, it's just so unfortunate.
Now, if thanks to having those mitts, Barnes is going to get his hookshot really, really shortly because he can just head over to East F Mountain now and grab him from Super Bunny Cave.
Yeah, and you have to imagine he's definitely feeling behind after realizing he could have had those way earlier.
But simply because he's not decided to skip on Hera, he's put himself in a much more advantageous position.
Yes, with that, it is his Go Mode item, so we will be able to just Go Mode Pod, Swamp, and Ice Palace. Go Mode Pod is pretty pleasant, too, if you can find the big key nice and early, which I don't remember where that was hiding.
Now, Hatch has gotten through the Riddy escape and grabbed his fire rod. So, he's gotten the Paglos from the Bubble Mountain already. So I think he's pretty much cleared Super Metroid. He's got to go to Link to the Past now, and go back into the tower. Well, he didn't go into the tower in the first place, he just walked by it.
Well, looks like no keys in the Hope Room, so it is time to mirror out and go to the left side of GT. Now, we've already seen 2 chests, so my guess is out the door, but is the big key on Bob's torch? Answer. Nope.
Bob lives. Bob is eternal. Unless you powder him, but nobody has powder.
And with a full half magic, I don't think anyone's gonna fake powder him either. To answer question in chat, it does not matter if you beat Super Metroid or Zelda 3 first. It only slightly alters how beating the first boss plays out. If you beat Ganon first, you just get placed on the pyramid and you can just quick hard reset back to Super Metroid, which is what most runners tend to do. If you defeat Mother Brain first, the escape sequence starts out as normal, but the timer stops once you get back to Crateria, but you do still maintain your Hyper Beam.
There's a big key in the firebar room.
So that is guess number 8.
And Ozzy also grabbed a cape just before that, and chest number 6. So that's pretty beneficial for Ganon.
Yeah, that's definitely going to help. I am taking a quick peek at our list to see who guessed 8 on the dot, and I see a lot of 7s, but no. I see a lot of 7s and a 9, but I do not see an 8.
8. Is this a mimic clip? Yeah, there goes one mimic. There goes 2 mimics.
Ooh, Aussie swagging. Very nice.
Yeah, mimic clips are definitely an Aussie favorite. If he can do them, he will do them. And he always does it.
Yeah, especially if that's one of the things that illogically could end up making the bow not required for certain seeds if Eastern and Pot are pendants, and you don't need to get to their bosses. So it looks like we're going to give the big key guessing game to Velanoth, who was the first 7 guess.
So congratulations, Velanoff. You win the big key guessing game, and your prize is the knowledge. Don't skip checks.
And yep, and Barnage is now in go mode after picking up finally that hookshot out of Super Bunny Cave.
And Soski is heading back up the mountain. Is he going to go back into Hera and get those mitts and think, oops? Or is he just going to head to Spike Cave? Because he hasn't been in Spike Cave yet. He's going Spike Cave.
Nice land mode 2s from Aussie. Aussie's execution on this latter half of this go mode phase has been absolutely phenomenal.
And Solsky actually makes his way out of the Spike Cave without saving critting, so I think he's going to go to Hera after this, which is good. But it's something he should have done several minutes ago.
More like several trips ago.
Yeah, unfortunately for him, although he is generally ahead on checks compared to Barnage, just skipping that those Titansmiths have allowed Barnage to pull ahead.
Yeah, and the fact that Solsky, I think Solsky still has to clear Desert as well. So that's another dungeon, excuse me, another entire dungeon that must be dealt with. But yeah, Aussie is done checking everything. He has Tempered Sword, Silvers, Ganon's pretty much free. Although he does kind of have to watch his health. And we already saw a Sankheart. Now, is Aussie going to go for the swag bomb jump here? Given that he hasn't fired it yet, that's exactly what he's doing. Hatch getting the news about Charge Beam.
He's just got the 1,000-yard stare now. Oh, it looks like his stream is frozen. Let me check stuff.
Oh, he has forfeited the race.
Yeah, he cannot have been happy about those Titansmiths at all.
Given the fact that he may have, never mind. But yeah, as soon as he got those Titans mitts, apparently he just decided, nope, I'm done, apparently. Yikes, that is very unfortunate.
Yeah, well, it must have been really frustrating because he did walk in here earlier, just got the first chest and walked out. He knew that he could have gotten the gloves much earlier and just missed out on them. So, yeah, that would probably make anybody frustrated. So, he has taken a forfeit. So, GG's to Solsky.
Indeed. Aussie did take the items from Moldorm's toy box, by the way, and it was a shield. So now we know where that last shield was hiding. Ooh, I don't know if that was a triple. It certainly looked like it.
That's just a double.
Well, we'll see if one shot hits here. Okay, it was a double. So 2, 2, 1, and this is probably going to be 1.
Yeah, down goes Agatu. From his corpse emerges a spectre of a big pig.
You thought you were fighting a wizard, but it is me, Ganon! Sorry, I've been using that joke a lot lately.
Does Ganon moonlight as Dio Brando? I don't think so. He doesn't seem like the type to be extra spectacular like Dio.
And then the next dialogue is, "Oh, you're approaching me?" I still like that to be a line in that quote there. But no, he's more concerned about thinking outside the box. Although, obviously he's not, because we're fighting in a box.
And Ozzy has got himself super boxed in here. Thanks to Ganon being in this position, he can just use lots of spin attacks to hurt Ganon and bounce off a wall without going into fire bats or anything. Super nice dodging of a fire bat, and because of that positioning, Ozzy got just to one cycle in phase 2. Oh, this is a lot of Ganon ports, though.
Ganon, are you finished? Yes, he is.
Yeah, and thanks to Ozzy actually going back to combo side to pick up that tempered sword, he doesn't have to do Master Sword spins here, which would be a lot more difficult. Luckily, Silver As here were very easy to get on the Lake Islands. Everybody pretty much saw those on pretty much less than a minute into the seed.
Yeah, that was the first thing we saw, pretty much. Hatch has not yet picked those up, but is dipping Swamp without the hookshot.
I mean, we've seen 3 people do it. It's waiting right then. It's a lot of items to get in front of Swamp, so I don't fault people for taking this play. It's a wrong play, but it's a wrong play in this particular seed, but it's not a bad play as such.
Well, with that, get your single G's in chat, because Aussie has defeated the big pig. And now it's time to take down the big brain.
He's got himself bacon, but now he needs to get the brains to know how to cook the bacon properly. So this is something you typically see in Super Metroid and Zelda 3, because finishing off Ganon first and then taking up Mother Brain tends to be the usual play, because when you take a hard reset into Super Metroid, you're right at the ship, and not only do you have really quick access to Mother Brain from here, it can also top up all your health and ammo for Mother Brain. So almost all runners will do Mother Brain second, unless they are just really frustrated with how the seed is treating them and decide just to get Mother Brain done first anyway.
Yeah, and there have been some occasions where runners have elected to do that if something like a hookshot or maybe a lift upgrade has been really troubling the runner.
Now, if you do happen to take out Mother Brain first, you still go through the escape sequence like you normally would, but when you get out into Criteria, the planet decides it's not going to blow up, it's just going to stabilize again, and you can run around for Hyper Beam for a little bit in Criteria. You do lose the Hyper Beam when you transition back into Link to the Past or take an elevator, but hey, you can play around with a Hyper Beam for a bit.
Yeah, although some parts of Criteria are still suddenly suffering from many gaseous outbursts because they are still exploding randomly. Alright, Barnage is on the Cold Stare fight. Aussie ended up picking up a lot of Super Metroid energy tanks. He's got, looks like 12. So this has been a very Super Metroid-friendly energy seed, but managed to take down Ganon with only 11 hearts red
No,
mail.
I think he has more energy tanks than he does Link to the Past heart containers.
He does. Not even
That
counting the Nope
is
tanks.
that is very rare.
Not even counting the Nope tanks. And that's considering you get 3 hearts at Link to the Past to start.
There's only one reserve tank in we've seen, and that was just before the fire rod in the back of Ridley Escape.
There was another one somewhere, but I can't remember where it was.
Yes, reserve tanks are very forgettable and meaningless.
There's a reason they're called Nope tanks. It's because runners see them and decide, nope, I'm not picking them up.
Where in Zolsky's case, when he was picking up the fire rod, he just jumped straight over that reserve tank and completely ignored it. I think he had 8 energy tanks at the time anyway, so perfectly fine.
Now, Aussie is trying for a baby skip here. A little tough without Wave Beam, but manages to lay a power bomb, but that is not going to do it. He gets snagged by the baby.
And takes off his gravity suit for the quicker health drain. Also remembers to face right. You save a couple frames by facing right. Frames matter. Save the frames. Don't save the animals.
So at this point, I'm actually thinking about... because we did end up we still did not see our Wave Beam throughout the entirety of this seed, so it's probably chilling in Meyer or it's probably chilling in Meyer or Total Rock at this point, or maybe someplace else. Someplace else in GT. Now, yeah, Aussie's gonna try and fill up ammo here. I would be surprised if he doesn't go for a Zebetite skip here, especially now that ammo is actually important.
We saw one item in Maya, and that was in the front part. So I don't know if we saw a second item or not.
I don't think
if it was, then it would have been on Vitreous, and none of the runners who went into Maya could have done Vitreous because they didn't have Kane from Thiefstown.
Alright, Hatch has now finally realized what's happened and is going into Tower of Hera.
Yeah,
I foresee yet... I'm sorry, you first.
Yeah, Hatch walked by this about probably an hour into the seat. He just stopped outside the front door and thought, nah, not going in. These myths have proven so elusive. And they were just sitting there in Tower of Hera in really easy access, no lamp required. All you just needed was mirror and mirrors and green Brinstar. So, well. The only sticking point, I guess, was the flute in Retro Brinstar.
Yeah, and even then, that was pretty much free. Because high jump boots were race game.
So, Aussie being out of supers now, he has got Mother Brain into the catch-up phase, so-called, when he's doing those fireballs. I think that's enough missiles because he's now leaning forward. Yeah, there she goes. So none of our runners are going to have a charge beam because the charge beam is on pedestal, but 50 supers and 115 missiles is just about enough to take care of Mother Brain.
Alright, Hatch has finally picked up the Titan's Mitts and is now taking Moldorm out, most likely out of frustration at this point.
I mean, Moldorm kind of deserves it. He's a big worm with googly eyes. Why wouldn't he squish something like that?
Exactly. And he gets to squish him with butter.
I've always got to appreciate Randomizer Moldorm for randomizing the amount of eyes that Moldorm has, so he can have anywhere between like 2 and 8 sets of eyes.
It's actually 1 and 8. You can't have a single-eyed Moldorm.
Yeah, the Cyclops Moldorm.
And I have seen an 8-eyed Moldorm before too, live. It is creepy, because it doesn't look like his head's moving. And with the baby's dying breath, he bequeaths to us the hyper beam, and we say, Mother, it's time to go, and pump her with hyper beam shots.
Went into a spike cave to pick up that faded bottle, and has he noped out of Death Mountain?
He's
got a
totally
title
noped out
bit.
of Death Mountain. He's gonna finish Swamp first.
He can't. No hookshot.
Wait, yeah. He's gonna do Ice first. And with Mother Brain dead and a self-destruct timer starting, Aussie decides, I'ma head out.
I mean, would he really want to stick on a planet that's just like spontaneously destructing?
Nope.
This is supposed to be the most impressive time bomb in the universe. It's capable of destroying an entire planet.
Nah, Starkiller from Force Awakens did it better. Killed like 10. Granted, it wasn't a bomb, but even still.
I never played Force Awakens. I just thought Starkiller was just like this ridiculously edgy name. And he's supposed to be Darth
So
Vader's
that's-
apprentice or something. And then they recycled that plot for the later Star Wars.
Oh no, you're thinking of Star Wars The Force Unleashed. Force Awakens was the 7th movie. Oh, you know what? Starkiller was in Force Awakens too, wasn't it? Or Force Unleashed. Never mind. But with
Well,
that,
enough about Star Wars. Aussie is about to finish this.
and with this, get your GGs in chat for Aussie101, who finishes in first place with an official SRL time of 2:33.22. GGs to Aussie. That is a phenomenal time.
And bonus thanks to getting those Titans bits from Tower of Hera. Is already, well, he's checking out Tyrum! Why is he checking out Tyrum?
No clue.
Oh dear, he's going for these late game gambles here that are proving entirely fruitless.
Unfortunately.
But we're joined by Aussie now in chat, so GG Aussie.
Hey, GG.
So
I think-
Aussie, you first,
Sorry.
Ocelot.
I think the main thing that set you apart from everybody else here was that all of our other runners mostly committed to Super Metroid quite early on, and you're the only runner who got those pretty early gloves from Tower of Hera. Everybody else skipped them for hours and hours.
It's kind of surprising. But it was a pendant. I guess.
Yeah, we gotta hand it to you because your routing ended up being phenomenal throughout this whole seed, because everything pretty much led to another in your case.
Pretty much. Brinstar was just flutes. That wasn't that required.
It also had mirror.
Okay. Then yeah, the routing was good all throughout.
Yeah, just to put things into perspective for you, Solsky picked up the mitts 15 minutes ago. Barnage picked him up a few minutes before that, and Hatch just picked him up like less than 10 minutes ago, but noped out of Death Mountain before picking up the hookshot. Oops.
I guess that is something that comes with the late pyramids. It takes you right to Dark Death Mountain and you get your hookshot.
Yeah, very luckily you ended up getting bailed out before deciding. I imagine you were gonna dive TR if you didn't see the hookshot in Super Bunny.
Yep.
Yeah, you got very luckily bailed out there.
Yeah, I was skipping Ice Palace because almost never happens that Hook is in ice.
Oh, Powder was in GT. How about that? Bob's chest. And apparently Wave Beam was in GT as well, so now we know where all our beams were hiding. What did you think about Charge Beam chilling on Ped?
So that made the pendant dives a little harder to go for, Mire and Turtle Rock. Because charge on Ped means that the pedestal is logically required. And so any progression that lets me finish a pendant dungeon might not be important. I just needed hookshot then. So I didn't have a really good idea on where to look for hookshot after that. But I was thinking pendants before.
Yeah, we did spend a lot of time theorizing where that hookshot could be, and until we finally saw a Ped check, I think it was Barnage who checked first, Barnage or Hatch. Until we saw that check, we thought it could be chilling on the pedestal.
Yeah, I thought it was just unlikely when I was passing by there earlier, so I didn't check. But after Skullwoods, it's just, why not?
Anything else in particular about this run you want to comment on?
I think I forgot about Front of Escape entirely until just now.
Well, look, it was completely valueless, so that ended up being a really good move.
Yeah, Solsky, I think, also did a super late front of escape check when he was on the Hunter for Titan Smiths. Didn't find him there, obviously. But I think Hatch and Barnes did for pretty early front of escapes, and yeah, they didn't get anything.
Yeah, I don't know. Everything worked out. Yeah, I think I do see how those early gloves helped me. I got my pod in Eastern route.
Like, the other gloves were basically locked behind the whole of Super Metroid progress, because you got to get your gravity suit from Wreck Ship, then your fair suit in Meridia, and then you get your gloves at the end of Norfair. So that locked off a lot of Link to the Past for everybody else. So as you had that, all of that open to you, and you were able to get other stuff done much easier in with much more convenient routing.
Yeah, I think all the Super Metroid movement items were available early too, if you really wanted to full clear Super Metroid.
Yeah, Speed Booster was in Eastern, wasn't lamp locked. High jump boots were pretty much free. Yeah, you had a lot of free Super Metroid items early.
Yeah, so it wasn't too bad to just do all of Super Metroid. I sort of ended up doing that anyway.
Barnes is now making his way through the top of Gauntlet, just sliding in torches. He's only on 10 heart containers. The seed actually had way more Super Metroid life than Link to the Past life.
Yeah, we got to compliment you on your gauntlet execution, especially because you were able to pull off pretty much the entire gauntlet without stopping, and with as low hearts as you had. Oh, there's Spring Ball. We were wondering where that was.
I just missed my Moldorm bomb jump.
Yeah, but you were able to add some swag with the Mimic clips, though, and we thank you for that. Just trying to think of other notable things of the sea. And all things considering, there were plenty of ways that the routing could have gone, considering that the only real sort of forced linearity wasn't Super Metroid. Ooh, nice triple on Barnage's end. Followed by a double. Nice fight from Barnage. Unfortunately, Hatch still missing out on that hookshot, is now doing Smith Chain.
Yeah, I just don't know why he decided to skip Beast of Dark Death Mountain after getting those mitts from Hera. It just made no occur to him, maybe. He's going back there now, though.
Yeah, Hatch will get these now. He'll be able to go mode, well, actually double dip Swamp, unfortunately, but will be able to finally wrap things up here.
Fronto Swamp was available really early, so near the end I was thinking about dipping that.
I think everybody besides you gambled on the front of Swamp Dip. Barnage was the first one to do it, I think. He had done all of his Super Metroid clear, so one of the first things he did in his Link to the Past, aside from clear Eastern Palace, was just go straight to Swamp Palace. Probably gambling on finding something there that would try and put him ahead, because he probably felt like he was behind. We'll be able to ask him shortly, because he's now on Ganon Phase 3.
I kept finding like progression that led me somewhere else. It didn't ever become the best play, so I just kept putting it off. But it wasn't in my mind.
Hatch did eventually go pick up those silver arrows after doing Swamp, so now Hatch is good with silvers for Ganon when that time comes. And good, he's checking hookshot and Super Bunny. I was seriously thinking he might have dived Turtle Rock first for a split second. But that's a single G for Barnage.
Oh jeez, Barnage nearly has maximum Super Metroid life. He's just missing one E-Tank.
Almost maximum Super Metroid missiles, too, for that matter. Or super missiles, I should say. Because it's 70 supers for the combo rando, correct?
I can't remember the max count.
But yeah, it's definitely way up there. Yeah, ammo is not going to be an issue for maximum Barnage, and that's mostly a consequence of, or I should say a product of clearing all of those other checks before finally going back to Hera. Alright, now Hatch is finally in go mode. He's going to clear Swamp and GT.
Hatch now making his second trip into Swamp Palace, this time with hookshot. He does have a Barter Sword, so I'd definitely be checking out any other chests for safeties in Swamp.
Yeah, there's absolutely no need. You're on Butter Sword, you have Red Mail, you have that fairy in a bottle from Spike Cave. You're probably fine.
Barnage with that Ice Beam and Wave Beam, making very efficient work for Metroids here.
Yeah, it's just very unfortunate that despite all the beam combos, he will not be able to go Quispy on Mother Brain due to Charge Beam being on that pedestal.
Yeah, I think I'll take off here. Thanks for commentating. Ocelot.
And thanks for giving us a great race, Ossie. GG again.
Indeed. Ooh, Barnage getting grabbed too. Alright, at this point it's just a matter of getting some energy refill and going down to take out the big brain.
Yeah, he has got so many missiles and supers, and I think he's in a pretty good spot here. He even used the super to open the door, because he's got so many to spare.
Nice silver arrow shot from Hatch there.
With the Ice Beam, Barnes is going for the Ice Clip here to get past the Sleep Tides. Gets it done, very nice. Oh, nice! Nice freezing of the Rinkers there to get a good position on Mother Brain. He's still got 61 missiles and 63 super, so he should be totally set for Mother Brain's weird dinosaur form here. I'm really not sure what you would describe his form as. It's kind of like a giant chicken almost with those legs. So Mother Brain provides chicken and Ganon provides bacon. Is that SMZ3 like the fast food takeout of combo randomizers? Couple of catch-up beams from Mother Brain there. Bounced out of supers, but Mother Brain's in the hyper beam phase, so he's done. Ah, no, this is McBrainies, because you've got your onion rings, you've got your ketchup beams, you've also got your meatballs.
And your french fries.
Where'd you get the burger bun from, though? Can't have a burger without a bun.
Good question.
I mean, you've got Ganon over there, who always provides bacon, and sometimes provides cheese facts too. And I always like bacon and cheese in my burgers. But you've got to have a burger with a bun, right?
Not any burgers that I'm familiar with, at least.
Alright, well, Hats is now in Ganon's town. He's going to start off on the right side. There's no small key here, so he's probably not going to take the tile room and get the powder line. Powder and what was it that Barnage also got?
Wave beam.
Oh yeah, Wave Beam. Yeah, so he's probably not going to get those unlike Barnage. But he'll get his big key pretty quickly. Oh, Valvon in chat, no. I absolutely despise mushrooms. I'll never take them in my linked past seeds or my burgers.
Yeah, I gotta pass up on that one too. I just like a nice simple cheeseburger.
Oh, this mother brain is very shortly going to be cooked. She's looking pretty red right now.
Yeah, I would say she's medium rare at the moment. Oh, cooking up a little. Now is a bit more well. Now that is a well done mother brain right there.
Completely incinerated, so she's melting into nothing. That's a meal ruined.
Oh,
Time
and
to
now
leave the restaurant.
now she's getting too many charring marks. Yeah, that ends up being overcooked. And Maximum Barnage leaves a review on what's the Metroid equivalent of Yelp?
Zelp.
Close enough.
I don't think the space pirates really do much in the way of Yelp or job openings or such like that. Hey, you want to be a space pirate? You want to be an outlaw? Raid the universe? Get shot up by some bounty hunter with a vengeance? Just feel free to join. But preferably have some weird claw pincer hands and bug-type features. They don't
Also,
really
do
take
not-
human space pirates.
Also, do not get too closely attached to your planets because they will blow up. Unless it's Talon 4. Now, will we be seeing any further memeing from Maximum Barnage? Answer.
He's done it for memes.
Yep.
I mean, he clearly thought the mother brain meal wasn't any good, so he's not going for dessert.
Yeah, I wouldn't want dessert either after that, but with this, Maximum Barnage is our second place finisher with a SRL time overall and in the restream with a SRL time of 2:53.36. So GG's to Maximum Barnage.
GG. Now, hopefully he'll be joining us for an interview pretty shortly, but meanwhile, Hatch is halfway through the gauntlet. He's gotten through the difficult parts, now just got to take out some land murders.
Nothing. Oops, excuse me. Sorry about that. I hope that ring didn't disrupt Hatch's aim.
Yeah, he gets a free cycle.
One other difference that I don't think we pointed out with the combo randomizer is that it does change the ending a little bit as well. If you do defeat Ganon second, you do see the link to the past credits, which means you can see what's on the pedestal, if you haven't seen it already. All right, Hatch moseying on through the gauntlet. And given that Hatch is pretty much in the same situation as everybody else has been in, red mail, silver arrows, butter sword. Yeah, no further chests required. Probably not even going to pick up that fire shield out of Moldorm 2.
Yeah, we have seen all three shields in the seat, but nobody has managed to pick up the right shield.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember where the third shield was hiding. I know there was one in... I know there was this one. I'm trying to remember where the second shield was. Or both the other shields were, for that matter. one was in Croc, that's right.
I want to say the other one was in Swamp, but I'm not sure on that. Ooh, just misses one projectile on Aga there. Let's get some blue balls for his trouble. And some more.
There's the orange ball he's looking for.
Bonks off the walls a bit, because honestly, after a seed like that, where he put off the gloves in Tower Power for so long, yeah, you've earned for yourself a few bonks.
Yeah, you would be bashing your head against the wall trying to figure that out. And Ganon keeps asking, what's with all these links constantly dropping in my pyramid?
I don't know, he seems pretty critical of these things, not thinking inside the box enough.
Oh no, it's Ganon. Ganon doesn't want to think outside the box until he finds evidence of people thinking inside it. Which is why he never defeats Link, because he never thinks outside the box. Link does.
Thanks to having a half magic, and Ganon being in the bottom left of a room, Hats decides to put on a cape and freely attack Ganon. Gets inside in one cycles, and still has tons of magic for phase 4, so very reasonable choice. Just a little bit of extra time spent menuing.
Pretty much, but we now go into phase 4. Ganon asks, did you find the arrows in the light world? And Hatch answers, yes, I just managed to sneak those in just before getting to your castle. I'm sorry, tower. Castle is Ocarina of Time.
Yeah, given that Ganon is hiding out in the pyramids tend to be where you bury your dead, not to set up evil fortification centers. And considering kill Ganon here, he kind of set up his own tomb, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, that doesn't seem like smart internal design. Again, he needs to think outside the box.
Yeah, he's way too inside the box, because this is definitely going to be his burial site. 1G for Hat, he takes down Ganon, and just got to cross that bridge and make his way up to Mother Brain.
Yeah, please do not fall to this bridge. I've already seen a run 2 weeks ago, a victory or a first place finished among the restream 2 weeks ago that was lost to that 1x3 bridge.
Recently, I haven't seen a bridge fall in over a year now. That sucks to hear.
Yeah, I want to say it was just over a week ago. All right, next stop for Hatch, Mother Brain. And I feel like there's a missed opportunity here. Why don't we just send all the zombies from Plants vs. Zombies onto Zebus here? They love brains.
Why don't you send the zombies from anywhere? I mean, Zebus doesn't really have any civilized life living on it. The most sentient beings on it are just a bunch of outlaws. Just dump all the zombies here.
Makes sense. Although it would seem kind of rude later because then we blow up the planet.
Now, Hatch has 60 super missiles, which is exactly enough to take up Muffin Brain, but he also has a 125 regular missiles, so he should be pretty fine here. He's also got that Ice Beam to make the Metroids easy in Turian, so he's in a pretty good spot here.
Yeah, did not pick up Wave Beam, but that really shouldn't be a handicap. Well, I guess while we're waiting for Hatch to finish up, I will just take one moment to load up the upcoming schedule to show you other events coming up on Speed Gaming this evening. Let's have a quick peek here. So, in just under an hour, we have the Super Metroid Randomizer League. There will be a race at 7 o'clock on Channel 3. We also have a Link to the Past tournament qualifier race beginning at 7:15. So shortly after this combo rando, there will be another qualifier race. We also have Metroid Prime Rando going on Channel 2, tournament race in progress there. And we have a Zelda 1 randomizer weekly race coming up at 10. This is all Eastern Standard Time, I should note. So plenty more speed gaming and randomizer action available for you this evening.
Yeah, and I want to point out about that fall tournament qualifier for the Link to Past randomizer. Not only do we have a restream going on this main speed gaming channel, but we also have one going on the ALTTPR randomizer channel as well. So I believe it's going to be 4 restreams on speed gaming and 2 on ALTTPR. So please do check out both channels if you just cannot handle enough Zelda randomizer. It's missing a little bit of Super Metroid though, so minus points for that.
Although, to be fair, if you need your Super Metroid Zelda 3 rando palette cleansed, there will be a hard mode race tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Eastern Time.
And with the hard mode, all those things that you saw runners kind of avoiding, like say going through Norfair without the fair suit, yeah, you might be forced to do those by design. It's always good fun checking out both normal mode and hard mode SMZ3.
Yeah, last week's hard mode race on Sunday required a hell run, followed by Suitless Meridia for Total Rock for a medallion. And then you had to come back after getting Gravity Suit on Laser Bridge. I think I brought that up way earlier, but for those just coming in maybe not aware of that one.
Hatch is actually taking out the Zeep types here, so this is cutting into his missile count.
Yeah, still shouldn't be too big a deal, and needs to keep his missile count over 20. Because I think in Super Metroid, I think it's 5 missiles per super in terms of firepower.
Yeah, I cannot remember the exact damage values off the top of my head, but
I know in Metroid Fusion, a super missile is 3 times as powerful, but this is not Fusion.
X in chat confirms 5 regulars is 1 super.
That's what I thought.
Shoutouts to our trackers again, who have been keeping us on track through this whole seed. X and Semper Firedog. We've got their links there in chat if you want to follow any of them. Also, if you want to follow any of us, if I do no streaming at all, I might do some races in the distant future. Might. But don't hang on to following my channel just for my ridiculous accent. But more importantly in our channels, also do check out our runner channels. We've got Aussie 101, Solski Hats, and Maximum Bonus. All of them put on an excellent race today. Please do check out their channels because they do plenty of other racing besides this.
Ooh, Hatch needs to be a little careful. Missed a shot there with the supers.
Okay, so he's leaning forward. She's good.
Careful, Hatch. Don't take out too much of your health.
Yeah, as long as you've got over 3 energy tanks remaining, then you are safe. And we'll also put you into the next phase so that she won't start doing her regular attacks again and then do another hyper beam. She can actually kill you if you're not careful doing that. If you're on over 2, hang on. If you're on like 2 energy tanks, she may decide to do regular attacks, and she can kill you by that when she does a hyper beam.
Yeah, I know I saw a run. I know I saw an AGDQ race have that happen, where someone did take a KO to the Rainbow Beam. I wish I knew what allowed Mother Brain to reanimate. Unfortunately, I'm not that familiar with the science of the 2D Metroid games. I remember reading all the lore for the Prime games, but this is not a Prime game.
They weren't really big into lore around the time of the SNES era.
Fair enough.
Even in your like JRPGs and such, you didn't really get lore. You just kind of like traveled through time, and all of your time physics didn't really matter. And then you try to correct that in the PS1 sequel, and everybody just kind of starts thinking it's a mess of a plot.
Yep, pretty much. Hatch not even having to move here, because apparently now Mother Brain can't aim. And down goes Mother Brain. Okay, Hatch, she's dead. I'm sensing some deep frustration against Mother Brain here.
Definitely resentful. So it does got to escape an exploding planet here. It's all pretty easy with space jump and speed booster. It can make your way pretty quickly through.
And not to mention for Samus, this is just a walk in the park, because by this point, what blew up?
She blew up SR388 in Metroid 2. She also
Well, not yet. That didn't happen until Fusion.
Oh, right, Fusion. Okay, all right. So she's done Metroid Prime 1, 2, and 3, possibly 4 as well, but we don't know much about 4 because of development issues with that. But in 2, she blew up half of a planet, technically. In 3, she definitely blew up a planet, but it was like a really evil planet of just like poison goop and such. So
yeah, pure phase on planet.
Yeah, so she's got some experience. Planet and a half. By this time, you're pretty desensitized to it.
And there will be no rescuing of animals for the memes today. But with that, Hatch is our final runner to cross the finish line on stream with a third place SRL time of 3:10:05.
GG's to Hatch.
Yeah, so very good GG's to our restream runners tonight. And we will see if Hatch will join us up in the commentator's booth.
He's here in Twitch chat. He just says he doesn't have a mic, so he's just going to chat a bit in Twitch chat. So, GG's. Yeah, we knew you should have gone into Hera when you were up there too, because we saw Ossie go in there first. He got those gloves, and then everybody just kind of like walked by Hera and ignored it, or never even went there, just full cleared Super Metroid instead. But yeah, if there's one thing I have to say about this seed, besides from those gloves, it was really non-linear. As we saw, Ozzy mostly committed to Link to the Past and went all over the place finding items, and Solsky and Maximum Barnes mostly committed to Super Metroid and were finding items all over the place. But you could have approached this in many different ways. And Ozzy just happened to get like a really, really good route for his choices, which benefited him greatly, even more than he would normally expect.
Yeah, the only forced linearity, quote unquote, was the Gravity Suit in Wreck Ship, Tavaria Suit in Meridia to Bamos to basically the treasure trove that was Lower Norfair.
Yeah, those Titan Smiths locked a lot, but once you got those Titan sets, it was pretty quick and easy to get the hookshot. You didn't have to really go into any of the pendants available to you, and now's your go mode. So all in all, a pretty quick SMZ3 seed, but it definitely had the potential to troll you if you happen to make gambles or skips, because we kind of find items scattered all over the place, and most notably, as we've said ad nauseum now, in Tower of Hera. So I think that about covers it for today. So as mentioned before, if we have got other races for other games happening tonight on the Speed Gaming channels, if you do want to check out more SMZ3, we have got the 9 PM Eastern race tomorrow, which is going to be hard mode logic. So do check that out. It's always good fun. It's a little late for me, so I'm probably going to miss out myself. But I do hope everyone in chat has enjoyed the race today, and I do hope our runners have enjoyed it too. So shout outs to all of them again. Obviously, Solsky, Hatch, and Maximum Barnage. And I'll leave the last word with you.
Well, at this point, I pretty much said the majority of my pieces as well, but also major shout outs as well to our trackers, Semper Firedog and Seiryu X for their work in making sure everybody's on track with all their gear tonight. Also want to give a quick shout out to Miss Metroid, who helped us on tech setup this evening to make sure that everything on stream went buttery smooth for you folks. But with that, we thank you for stopping by this Sunday edition of the Super Metroid: A Link to the Past Randomizer weekly race, and we will see you next time. Good night, folks.